What's going on, everybody? David here, another travel live stream that we're going to be doing right now. And we're going to talk about two different cards. So the Boundless, or the Marriott Bonvoy Boundless card. I don't know where they got these names from, the Boundless and the Brilliant. But we're going to be talking about that card today. And we're going to compare it to the World of Hyatt card. And then we're going to open it up for everyone to give their opinion, and we'll kind of go back and forth and see what card looks the best when it comes to overall everything. So we'll get started in a second. Just want to make sure everything is going good. If you do come in the chat, let me know you're here. Just say hello. That way I can give you a shout out. And let me know where you're coming from too, like what state you're coming from, what country you're coming from. And let's see, everything looks good. And we'll switch over to this. So I'll talk just a little bit while people are coming in. And like I said, let me know you're here. Just say hello. So if you guys don't know, Marriott and SPG, they've come together. Actually, they came together, I think it was like 2 years ago, or at least a year and a half ago. So Marriott bought out SPG, and so now they're one. So now they've changed the name to Bonvoy, and so that's going to include all the different cards and they've merged the whole program. So all the different hotels and everything, they're all one, which is really interesting because now Marriott has a huge footprint, and they might have the largest footprint at this point. I think IHG had a real large footprint prior to this, but now. I think Marriott, they might have them beat now. So they have hotels. I think they quoted 6,700 different hotels, and that's really good because the more hotels you have, it just makes it one of those no-brainers for a lot of people. Because if you want to get into a program, you want to commit to a program, you probably want to commit to the program that has a real large footprint, and so Marriott does have that. So if you're interested in getting, I mean, it does get frustrating, and I'll tell you firsthand, I like Hyatt and I want to stay committed to Hyatt, but they do have issues when it comes to not having hotels all over the world. I mean, they have them in a lot of different places. All the major cities, they usually have a hotel, but there's some smaller cities. You might want to travel to some smaller cities, and in a lot of situations, they don't have a hotel. So just something to think about, because the way I look at it, like I tell you, I'm looking for the long term. So when I get a card, Travel Awards credit card, I'm making a commitment. So if it's a branded card, if it's a hotel card, if it's an airline card, I'm making a commitment to that airline or that hotel. And my plan is to continue, focus and continue staying with them until they upset me, and then I'll move on and go somewhere else. But what I'm saying is, when I get that card, I want to make that commitment. So it's good to know that if you do make the commitment with Marriott, you're probably not going to have an issue when it comes to finding a hotel in a variety of different cities. Okay, so let's look at the chat real quick. All right, who is here? How do you say your first name? Let's see, Preet. I can't say that, but how you doing? Lionel, how you doing? Jeremy, how you doing? And let's see, coming from Wisconsin, Chicago. All right, all over. Let's see. All right, how do you say your first name? I don't want to mispronounce your first name, Singh. And Paris Gringo, or Paisa Gringo. What's going on? Why does that name sound familiar, Paisa Gringo? Jason here from New York. All right, Jason, are you on the WhatsApp the WhatsApp group? Oh man, how you doing, Sharon? So Mr. Singh is good. Is it Singh? Is Singh correct? I don't want to pronounce your name wrong. All right, I'm really bad with names, so that's just me. All right, all right, Jason, what's going on, buddy? And Sean from Orange County. Hey, I live in Orange County, Anaheim. All right, let's see. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and look at these two cards. Then after we're done looking at these two cards, then we'll just open it up for chat and we'll talk about things. All right, so let's go ahead and pull this screen out here. And here we go. So here is the Bonvoy card. So this is the new card. So this is the Visa. So they have, it's kind of, they have Visa cards and they have American Express cards with the whole Bonvoy program. And that's the way they had it before too. They did have Marriott cards that were Chase cards, like this is a Chase card. And then they had the SPG cards, which were, they were American Express. So they've already kind of had this. So now they're just kind of joining them all together. So, okay, the first thing I want to look at is the annual fee for both cards. Now, let me just preface this whole conversation because it might get a little heated. Hopefully it doesn't, but let me preface the whole conversation by saying, get the card that works for you, okay? When it comes to hotels, if you like a certain hotel, then go with that travel credit card. If you don't like the hotel, don't just get the credit card because that credit card's better than the other credit card, or people say it's better than the other credit card, because you're probably not going to be happy. Because when you go to that hotel, it doesn't matter about points, but when you get to that hotel, if you're not satisfied, you're not satisfied, right? So even if it's free, like even if I get a free night, I still want to be satisfied at the hotel. And if I'm not, then that's when I want to start looking at a different hotel chain. So if the customer service is bad, or the rooms are just dirty and just, you know, you get what I'm saying. So it doesn't matter what we say here. It doesn't matter what I think is a better card, because when it comes down to it, it's where you want to stay. If you've had better experiences with Marriott, then you probably want to go with the Marriott card. If you've had better experiences with Hyatt, then you probably want to go with the Hyatt card. Okay? All right. I just want to put that out there first, just so you guys kind of see where I'm coming from. All right. So the first thing we always look at is the annual fee. The annual fee for this card is $95. So for the Bonvoy, it's $95. And for the World of Hyatt card, it's also $95. So it's the same. So it would be a tie in that category. And what I do, I usually do the same thing. I kind of go through 5 different categories, and then that kind of gives me an idea of, okay, yeah, I kind of like this card better than that card. So this is how we're going to do this as well. Okay, the next thing we want to look at is the bonus, the sign-up bonus. And the sign-up bonus has dropped. Now, it used to be 60,000 bonus points, and I think it was only like $3,000 that you needed to spend in 3 months, something like that. But now they've changed. So the World of Hyatt has changed their whole little system. This concerns me, and I talked about this a couple of weeks ago in a live stream. And it concerns me because of the way that they did it. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So you get 50,000 bonus points, but when you look at the fine print, you earn 25,000 bonus points. That's after spending $3,000 within the first 3 months, okay? Now, in order to get another 25,000 bonus points, you need to spend another $3,000. So a total of $6,000 within 6 months. And then you'll get the other 25,000 bonus points, or you'll get both, you know, you'll get the combined 25,000 bonus points, and you'll have 50,000 bonus points. So the minimum spend on this card is $6,000 in order to maximize your sign-up bonus. And I mean, you want to get 50,000. You don't want to go for just, oh, you know what, I'll just go for the 25,000. No, you want to get as much as you can. So you have to be committed and say, okay, I'm going to spend $6,000. I'm going to use this card for 6 months and spend that 6,000 so I can get the 50,000 bonus points. I don't like that they're doing stuff like this. They're starting they've been talking about this. The different credit card companies have been talking about how they're hurting because, and I know they're not hurting, but that's the talk, that they're hurting because people are using the cards, getting the sign-up bonus, and then not using the cards anymore. And so that's the reason for all of this. Like, that's what they were saying. They kind of put that out there first, and now you're starting to see these different little creative ways to get people to spend more money. So it is what it is. I've always been on the side of, if you make good cards, people are going to use those cards. If you don't make good cards and they don't have good earn possibility long term, people aren't going to use the card. There's no reason to use it, right? So if they make better cards and not make so many, like you see all these different cards coming out. Oh, well, this card gets you, 5 times points on this, but that's it. and then they make another card. Oh, well, this card gets you 3 times points on this, but that's it. You know, if they were to just get maybe 3 cards, 3 different tiers, like a no annual fee card, a mid-level card, actually 4 tiers then, a no annual fee card, a mid-level card, you know, top level card, and then make like maybe even an exclusive card. Then, and they made them all good with good earn possibility on all of them, then people would use those cards. So that, I'm gonna get off the soapbox here, but so that's a bonus structure with the World of Hyatt. I don't like it. I really don't like the bonus structure. But we go to the Bonvoy card, the Boundless card, and we're looking at, let's see, 75,000 bonus points, and that's after spending $3,000 within the first 3 months. So that's really good. I mean, that's hands down the better option, right? So in this category, the sign-up bonus is definitely going to go to the Boundless card. All right, let's look at the earn possibility on these cards. And I didn't look at this yesterday, and someone asked the question yesterday about the, was it? Oh, no, they didn't ask that question. Okay, so they're just showing you here the Marriott rewards. So this is the old card. Now they're switching it over, and this is what the new card is. And you see this little Wi-Fi little thing here. I didn't know what that was, and I just got my Explorer card a couple of weeks ago, and it's tap to pay, so you don't have to insert the card into the machine anymore. If it has that little logo on there, you can just tap it on the I don't even know if you have to tap it. Just hold it close to the device. What do they call those devices? But you know what I'm talking about. When you stick your card inside the machine, all you need to do is tap it on the machine, and it will get all the information that it needs. Okay, so earn possibility, or let's look at this first. Oh, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to do earn possibility first. So the earn possibility on this card, you're going to get 6 times points. That's at the Marriott Bonvoy hotels. So 6 times points is good. That's a really good earn. And that's for booking your hotel stay, for incidentals, so anything that you pay when you're at the hotel should qualify for that 6 points per dollar. And then you'll get 2 points for every dollar spent on all other purchases. So that is really good. And I'm actually glad that they did this, and I'm hoping that other cards will jump on board. Like, I'm hoping the World of Hyatt at some point will jump on board with this, because I don't like this whole 1 point per dollar thing. It's just, it's sad. They could do better than that, 1 point per dollar. So anyway, so that's the structure right there. It's simple. You don't even have to think about it. It's kind of like the Capital or the Venture cards, or the Capital One cards, I should say. A lot of the Capital One cards, 2 points per dollar. You don't have to think about it. All right. And so let's look at the World of Hyatt card. World of Hyatt, their earn possibilities are, you're going to get 9 points for every dollar spent. That's at Hyatt properties. Now, you have to be a member, and membership is free, so why wouldn't you sign up? But you have to be a member of the World of Hyatt program in order to get this. And so just sign up for the World of Hyatt, and then you're going to get that 5 extra points per dollar, plus you get the 4 points per dollar, so that's 9. So that's really good. And the points, and we have to, I guess, talk about the points a little bit too. The points with Hyatt, points are valued higher, and that's according to the points guy. That's his evaluation. So he's rating these points at like 1.7 cents per point, compared to the Marriott which is like, I think it's 0.9, so almost 1 cent per point. So you see that there's Hyatt's almost twice as much. So that's it just should. And I guess I should kind of talk a little bit about the whole point thing and how I look at that. Basically, with Hyatt, and I know for a fact with Hyatt, you don't have to use as many points in order to book a hotel room, whereas the Marriott properties, you're going to have to use more points. So although you're getting a 75,000 point bonus, you have to use more points to stay at the average hotel, or like if you're gonna book a stay, you're going to spend more points. then, or use more points than if you had the World of Hyatt. You can spend less points and stay at an equal valued hotel. So that's kind of the way that I look at that. All right, let's see. Okay, so then we have 2 points per dollar on, where are we at? Right here. 2 points per dollar at restaurants, cafes, transit, commuting, taxis, mass transit, and then 2 points per dollar for airline tickets if you book directly with the airline. So that's good. And then they also have this fitness club membership. So you get 2 points per dollar with the fitness club membership. So that's good as well. And then you get 1 point for all other purchases, which I like I said, I don't like that whole 1 point for all other purchases. So just looking at the two, and I'm just going to look at just the earn possibility. So I'm not looking at the value. Like I already told you, the value of Hyatt points are more, but just looking at a card where you can earn more points, I would have to say it's very close, but I'd have to say that I like the Bonvoy card better. And the reason that I do is because of this 2 points for every dollar spent on anything else. So not only what are the categories that Hyatt had? So not only is it the restaurants, the taxis, the coffee shops and cafes and airlines and gym membership, but everything else. So grocery stores, gas, just anything else that you can think of, you get 2 points for every dollar spent with the Boundless card. So I like that category. Okay, so now as far as unique benefits, and this is just more of an opinion thing, and we can talk about this in the chat too, so you guys can chime in how you feel about it. But there's some things. Okay, you get gold status with the Boundless card, or no, you don't get gold. I'm sorry, you get silver. You get silver elite status, and then you'll get you can get gold status, but you have to spend $35,000 on the card, and then you get the 15 night credit or elite credit. So that's to your elite status, which is really good. I actually think that's good. To basically, you have to stay 15 less nights, I guess you can say, in order to move up in the elite status. You get the free premium Wi-Fi, so that's good. No foreign transaction fees, that's good. So that kind of rounds out the elite benefits, or not elite, but unique benefits. Now, looking at the World of Hyatt card, we didn't even really talk about the free night, but yeah, you get a free night with both. So you get a free night with World of Hyatt, and you also get a free night with the Boundless card. I like how they have here, if you do want to spend money with this card, you will get an additional free night if you spend $15,000 or more on the card in a calendar year. So that's good. And I thought they gave you, I guess, no, I guess they don't. So you're going to get Discover status, which realistically, I guess Discover status is the same as the Bonvoy card giving you silver status. It's like the entry level status. Let's see. And then you do get qualifying nights, but you only get 5 qualifying nights, and then you'll get an additional 2 for every $5,000 that you spend. So I mean, just looking at both of them, they kind of give you the same benefits. There's nothing really that stands out to me that's, above and beyond what the other card gives as far as something that's different and unique. So I'm gonna give that a tie. Now, looking at the overall look at the card, I do like the Boundless card. I like the way it looks. I mean, it looks pretty nice to me. Now, I have the World of Hyatt card, and it looks okay in the pictures, but I don't like it in person. It actually looks fake, and it's very, like on here, it looks metal on here. It's not a metal card, but it looks metal on here, and they don't say that it's a metal card, but it does look metal. But it's very light, real thin plastic, and when I first got it, I was like, this card it doesn't even feel like it's a real card. So I would definitely have to say, and I don't know, I haven't gotten the Boundless card, but just the looks of the card, I like the look better. I just think it's a better looking card. So, all right, that's my opinion. Now, overall, looking at the two and just having a little bit of experience with both cards, or not with both cards, but with Hyatt, I like Hyatt, and I'm going to stick with Hyatt. And I think if I were to look at it, let's say I didn't have Hyatt and I was looking at both cards and I stayed at both properties, I would probably still go with Hyatt. And my main reason for it is I really like their customer service. I've never had any issues with them when it comes to staying at their property. So that's why I would still go with Hyatt. So I would make that commitment. And the points, I mean, as far as like I was talking about the point value, the points are worth more. I like the fact that the points are worth more. You don't need to use as many points in order to book a hotel. If you're in the Chase ecosystem already, and you have to think of it like this too. Like, let's say I have points on my Chase Sapphire Reserve card, and I want to transfer those points over to Hyatt, or I want to transfer those points over to Marriott. If I transfer the points over to Hyatt, I don't have to transfer as many points to Hyatt in order to book a free night. Whereas I'll have to send more points over to Marriott in order to book a free night. So that's where I really start looking at, okay, well, the points are worth more, so it makes more sense for me to stay with Hyatt as opposed to just giving you an example. And they even say on here, you can book some rooms for like 5,000 points. Free nights for as low as 5,000 points. Now you're going to be staying at a Hyatt place, and Hyatt places they're fine. You get free breakfast, and it's a relative. I mean, they're clean. Like I said, I want a clean room with hot water and a nice bed. That's it. That's all I need. Okay, I don't need nice views and jacuzzi tubs, and I don't need all that stuff. So they have, you'd be staying at a Hyatt place, and it's probably going to be, I shouldn't say. I was going to say it's going to be. It's not even usually in the U.S. They're all over, and they have different categories. Category 1s, it doesn't mean that it's in a bad neighborhood or it's a bad hotel. It just means that wherever that area is, like in Thailand, when we were in Thailand, we stayed in Phuket. I think it was like a category 2 or I think it was a category 2. So, and it doesn't mean anything different. It's just how they categorize the hotels, and I don't really even know what the criteria is for them. What I'm saying is, if I'm staying at a Hyatt place in one place, and I'm staying at a Hyatt place in another, those hotels are probably going to be pretty much identical as far as everything that they offer. All right, and I know like the higher up you move in the categories, and they'll have like the Hyatt place, they'll have the free breakfast, but they'll have like rooms. I think you can actually. The last few that I've gone to, you can order food. So you can order food and eat there. So they have kind of like a little restaurant, but they don't have like a full-on restaurant. Whereas if you stay at a Hyatt Regency, which is a higher category, category 3, category 4, then they have at least one restaurant. They'll have a gift shop. They'll have other different things at the hotel. So I think that's another thing that they consider when they have the categories. Then every year they kind of move the categories around. I don't know how they work that, but they'll start moving categories around, so you'll have different hotels that move up in category and some other hotels that move down in category. So, all right. So for me, yes, I would go with Hyatt, and that's just my personal thing. And I don't see enough right now with this Bonvoy program. I don't see enough to say, oh, I want to jump ship and go over to Marriott. So that's kind of where I am with that. But yeah, ultimately, the main thing that I look at is both these cards are in the Chase ecosystem, in the sense that if you have a Chase Sapphire Preferred or Chase Sapphire Reserve, you can transfer points over to both the programs. But I get more value if I transfer my points to Hyatt. So that's kind of the way that I look at it. All right, so let's go ahead and go into the chat. So if you guys have questions, please put them in the chat now, and we'll go ahead and start looking at some of the stuff that's going on in here. And let me know your opinion. What do you guys think? Like, which card do you like? Which hotel do you like? What experiences have you had at the different hotels? Because like I said, you can help a lot of other people. I can tell you, maybe share some stories with you as far as customer service and stuff when it comes to Hyatt. And if you've had good experiences with Marriott, put them on here, and then it kind of help people figure out what they want to do and where they want to go with everything. Okay, so Sharon, how you doing? Jason, yes, it's me. Okay, let's see. Orange County. All right, let's keep moving here. Sean, how you doing? And Esbro, hello from New York. How you doing? Okay. Is a Venture card a good travel card? I have a few cashback cards, but I'm lacking a good travel card. Okay, Jason. Our Paisa Gringo. Now Venture, they just announced, and I don't know if it's effective already, but they announced, I know last year, the end of last year, that they're going to have transfer partners. So different airline. So they're actually stepping up now, and they're getting into that whole game now, as far as being able to transfer your points to these different airlines and stuff, and that's how you get the most value out of your points. So I would say at this point, Venture looks good, and they were talking. I saw an interview with the Capital One, some people that are high up in Capital One, and they were just talking about the whole program and how they have new things coming down. You know, they've made some new partnerships as well, but they haven't been able to release them yet. So they're really working on making their whole brand more of a travel brand, because before it was a cashback card, or a cashback company. Like Capital One was cashback. It was simple. You didn't have to think about, oh, I can use this point or this card and I can get 3 points back on this, and then I can use this card and I can get 5 points back on this. And so they made it simple, where it was like just across the board. If it was 2 points for every dollar spent or what have you, they tried to make it as simple as possible. But the only thing is, they didn't have transfer partners back in the day. So now that they have the airlines, I mean, they're going to be formidable, and you'll be able to transfer your points to those airlines, and that's where you're going to maximize. All right, so to answer your question, Jason, I would probably, I mean, the best, and we talked about this before, the best card right now for a person that's just getting started out with the kind of like the mid-level card. So if you already have like some no annual fee cashback cards, but you want to jump into, okay, I want to start jumping into some more serious cards, I would recommend the Chase Sapphire Preferred. That's probably the best card to go with right now. And the reason I'm saying that, for a $95 annual fee. Now, if you can jump, and I personally couldn't even think about paying $450 for an annual fee card, for a card that had an annual fee when I first started out. Like when I first got my first couple of cards that were $95 annual fee, I thought that was like crazy. And so I wasn't even in that mind frame of spending $450. Now I've gotten there, but the only reason I've gotten there is because I've learned, okay, I can really maximize and bring that $450 annual fee down to zero. And before, I wasn't there. I wasn't thinking along those lines. I wasn't thinking that if I got the Chase Sapphire Reserve, that $300 travel credit, I could use that every year. I would be using that every year. So it would really drop that annual fee down to $150, which isn't much more than $95, right? So, and then looking into all the other little things, and when you start traveling, then you realize, okay, well, I can go to a lounge, that costs money, but I can do it for free because I have the card. I can get my global entry, that costs $100. So, you know, once every 5 years, but it still costs $100. So I can use it for that. I can use it for my rental. Like if I get a rental car, I can use it for that insurance, the primary insurance. So that saves me money. So when you start thinking, you start looking, okay, this is saving me money, then you realize, okay, $450 isn't that bad because I get that value already. So if you are able to go that route, yeah, I would. If you're able to go that route, the best card that I think is out there right now is a Chase Sapphire Reserve card. That's the best card, in my opinion. If you're just starting out and you're not comfortable with $450 annual fee, then go with the Chase Sapphire Preferred card, because that's also a good card. And I personally like the Chase ecosystem. I haven't jumped into the American Express ecosystem yet. Don't plan on jumping into the city. Thank you points. I've had a card. I've had thank you points before, but that's not a program that I would want to get in. I don't really like the transfer partners, but But definitely American Express is something that I'm interested in now that I have pretty much all the Chase cards that I want. But I would recommend jumping into the Chase ecosystem first because of their whole 524 rule. Get the cards that you want with Chase, and then if you still need to get more cards, or you still want to get more cards, then move over to American Express. All right, so I hope that answers your question, Jason. Let's see, Walker, what's going on? Let's see. What else should you say? I travel outside the country 2 or 3 times a year. Okay, yeah, and that like I said, like that's good enough. Even if you get a $450 card with a $450 annual fee and you travel 2 or 3 times a year, you could still get the value out of that because and I said this yesterday. Think of it like this: how much money do you spend on travel every year? And if the answer is I spend more than $450 on travel every year, then it makes sense to get the Chase Sapphire Reserve, okay? Because the first thing, that $300 travel credit, that's going to go toward the 450, or you spend more than 450, so it'll go toward that money that you spend for travel, right? And then all these other little things add up, and I'm telling you, you save money if you go to the airport and you don't have to buy water, you don't have to go buy snacks. You don't have to buy alcohol if you want to drink before you get on the flight. If you don't have to buy those things, you're saving money every time that you go to an airport. And the reason I'm saying you're saving money is because you have lounge access. So you can go to one of these lounges and you can get water, as much water as you want. And they usually have the little bottles, but take a few little bottles with you if you want to get on the plane with them. I don't know. Depending on what airline you're flying on. If you're flying on Spirit, you're probably gonna have to pay for water, so you might want to bring some extra water bottles. Snacks. You go to the airport, of course. If you go to the little gift shops and stuff like that, you have to pay for snacks, and they're not cheap. If you want to buy water in one of the gift shops, it's $5 or $6 to get the water. Alcohol, that's a whole nother story, right? So if you want to get a drink before you get on the plane, or get coffee, or all this different stuff. And what I do now, if I want coffee or if I want extra water, I usually bring, like, I have my little jug that I bring. Obviously, I don't bring water when I go through the checkpoint, but it's empty. So when I get into the airport, I can go into the lounge, fill it up with whatever I want, and I can take that, and that's, that I can have that for the rest of my, time at the airport when I get on the plane and all that good stuff. So you can save a lot of money with the card, and you just have to think about how much money you spend on travel. Now, if you don't travel at all, then I wouldn't go with the Chase Sapphire Reserve. I would probably go with the Amex Gold card, because you can really maximize and get a lot of points, U.S. points, 4 times points on restaurants and grocery stores and travel. I think travel's part of it too. So you can really maximize that way. And then whatever you want to do with those points, you can cash out or whatever if you don't travel at all. But the best card I think right now is the Chase Sapphire Reserve. And if you can't afford that, you don't want to look at that $450 annual fee, then get the Chase Sapphire Preferred. I don't know why I keep getting mixed up and saying those. All right, let's see. I'm looking for a hotel card myself. Just hard to choose between IHG, World of Hyatt, and Marriott. Okay, Singletary, how you doing? Now, I have a couple of friends that like IHG properties. I've only stayed at a couple, and they were like the Hyatt, or not the Hyatt. They were the Holiday Inn Express. I stayed in a Holiday Inn Express in Cartagena, Colombia, which was nice, and it was relatively new. Like it was still new when I stayed there, and this was probably about 3 years ago, maybe. I think it was like 3 years ago, 2 years ago, something like that. But I don't know. I'm not really too happy with IHG. I stayed in Puerto Rico a couple of years ago. I stayed at another Holiday Inn. Maybe I need to kind of up my game and stay at the higher end IHG properties. Now IHG is all over as well, so they have a variety of different hotels. But I'm the point. If you look at the point value, if you look at TPG's website with the point value, I think it's really low. Let me see. I think it's probably like half a cent or something. I'm gonna look real quick here. IHG, yeah, it's a half a cent for the value. And I can pull this up so you guys can check it out. So this is the Points Guy website, and it's funny, but I just have this like saved on my favorites or whatever. So it gives you a breakdown of all the different point values, and it kind of moves it up to it, and it shows you the value of all these different points over the years. So February 2018, then January 2019, February of 2019. So they keep updating it, which is really good because it really gives you an idea of what the points are really worth. And this is their evaluation, okay? So this is not the Bible. This is just their evaluation of the points, but they have a lot of information and a lot of knowledge when it comes to valuing these points. And the main thing that you want to take from this is the cards that have more value. So if you have one like this, the American Express, or the American Express, the Advantage card for American Airlines, 1.4 cents per point. So if it's 10,000 points, that's $140 value. Bare minimum is basically what they're saying is the value of that. So it makes sense when you get to the point where if I have points in my Ultimate Rewards program and I want to transfer those points over, it just makes sense because I'm not losing much when I transfer the points over. Whereas if the points are like, if the value is really low and it's like the IHG properties where it's 1.5 or not 1.5, it's 0.5. So it's half a point or half a cent. Well, now I'm looking at a situation where I'm transferring these points over and I'm losing value in these points. And then I have to book the hotel stay and I need to use more points in order to book the hotel stay. So I hope that makes sense. But when you look at it, you really want to kind of look at the value of the points because it really does matter. And let's just go, there's IHG right here. So yeah, it's a half a cent. It was 0.6. That was back in February of 2018. So, and what was the other one? So Marriott is 0.9. And then I said Hyatt. Hyatt is like 1.7 cents. So Hyatt is the highest when it comes to the major hotel chains. So 1.7. So just to kind of give you an idea, because it does matter, it really does. So my advice though, Singletary, is I would stay at all the different properties. Okay, so if you're looking at, I don't care where it is, it could be Best Western, Radisson, it could be anything. Just stay at all the different hotels, and then you can kind of get an idea of what you want to do. And they have these things. When I was they gave me Hilton gave me a challenge. Like they'll do, if you guys don't know, they'll do challenges like, what do they call it? I can't even remember the name of what they call it, but basically the challenge is like this. Let's say I'm a World of Hyatt globalist, like the top status. So at the time I was a top status with Hyatt. And so Hilton is trying to poach me. They're trying to get me to come over, not poach me. They're trying to get me to come over to them, right? And so what they'll do is they'll say, okay, you know what? For the next 3 months, we'll match that status that Hyatt's giving you. So we'll give you the highest status that we have. And if you stay nine nights or something like that within that 3 months, then we'll give you that status for the rest of the year. Or if you do it after a certain period, like if you do it after July, then they'll give you the rest of the year plus the year after that. So you get like a year and a half if you do it at the right time. And so they offered me that. So I was like, oh, sure, I'll do that. So I stayed at Hilton and I didn't like it. So I stayed there one night and I had the diamond status, which got me nothing. I mean, I got free breakfast, that was it. But as far as upgrades or anything like that, I didn't get anything from it. The hotel wasn't a very nice hotel. And I didn't like it. I didn't like the experience. Didn't really like the customer service. And so I was like, should I stay another 8 days within the next 3 months just to get a diamond status and, stay at a hotel that I don't really like, or a hotel chain that, well, I shouldn't say, I only stayed at one hotel. Maybe I should have given it a couple of stayed a couple of times, but I didn't. So I didn't go through with the challenge. I just said, yeah, I'm good. I'm fine with where I am. And my whole goal was to stay with Hyatt anyway and stay in their program, their elite status. It didn't really work out that way because the year after that, I dropped down from the Globalist down to the Explorers, which is one level down. But then I found with being an Explorers, you still get pretty much all the same benefits. Like I didn't get anything extra. Like they don't upgrade you to like the penthouse suite. Like they'll upgrade you views, they'll upgrade you to a little larger room, but usually they're not going to upgrade you to suites and stuff like that. So, and then some hotel chains or some hotels with Hyatt, they don't even have like suites. Like the Hyatt Place, they're generally all the same type of room. It's just pretty much the views that are different. All right, so let's see what else do we have on here. Let's see, Singletary I'm looking for. Okay, we already looked at that one. Paisa Gringo, the Bank of America ecosystem is weak, and I bank with them. I'm looking for a good ecosystem as far as credit cards. Yeah, so Jason, that I like I said, I would go with the Chase ecosystem. I think it's the best right now, and I would say if you put them in order, it would be Chase, and then right underneath that would be American Express, and then the Citi thank you points. Now, you do have to understand if you go with American Express and if you travel to other countries, which I know you do, you might run into some situations where you're not going to be able to use an American Express card. So if you do go full on and get all the different American Express, let's say you get the American Express Platinum and the American Express Gold, and then maybe a no annual fee American Express card, you're going to run into some situations where you're not going to be able to use your cards. So then you'll have to revert back to whatever card that you have that's a Visa or MasterCard. So that is one thing that you need to think about. But American Express, they have great card. I mean, the American Express Platinum card is a good card. And you couple that with the American Express Gold card, and you have a real good combination because you're going to be able to really maximize points. Now that's maximize points in the U.S. because that the Amex Gold, you get that four times points in the U.S. But when you go outside of the U.S., you're not going to get 4 times points. So you'd have to use pretty much another card because the Amex Platinum is not going to get, like for restaurants, you're not going to get anything special with the Amex Platinum. So you would still probably have to use another card anyway. So I don't know. My personal opinion right now, Chase is on top. And that's the ecosystem that if I were just starting out, that's the ecosystem that I would get and look long term. And I wouldn't, and I know we talked about this before, Jason, I wouldn't do the churning. I really wouldn't. And you have to watch it too because they're and the credit card companies have already said this, that they're really, they're hurting already and they're looking at these churners. So they are looking into people that just try to churn cards and they're trying to stop that. And that's one of the reasons why they have this whole 524 rule where you can only get 5 new credit openings or credit cards within 24 months with Chase. Like they're already on it. So if they see people that have more than 5 credit cards and then you try to apply for a Chase card, they're going to deny you. And so, churning it's dangerous because this is what you have to think about too. Let's say you spend all this time to try to get all these different cards, and what some people were doing was they would hit send, like they have 3 different computers open. And I might be exaggerating a little bit, but you get the point. So they fill out all the applications and they hit send at the same time and send them all through. And they say, oh, you only get 1 credit pool if you do that. Now, I don't know if that's true, but that's what they would say. And then they'd have to do the manufactured spending where they would, do all these little different things in order to what would they do? Like buy gift cards and do all this stuff in order to hit the minimum spend on all these cards. Because if you get 3 cards at the same time and they have $3,000 minimum spend that you have to spend on all 3, so that's $9,000 you have to spend in 3 months. And it could be done, but what a lot of them do is they'll just go out and they'll buy a bunch of gift cards, and they'll use those gift cards for their daily purchases, and then hit those minimum spends. And so they would do a variety of different things in order to try to hit these minimum spends. But you get all these points in the program, and then if they think, okay, they're doing something that they shouldn't be doing, or something that we don't recommend or that we don't want them doing, they can easily take your points away. So you could spend all that time earning all those points, and then they can take them away from you. So my advice, just do it well, I won't say the right way, but do it the way of long term. Just think long term, get a few cards. These are cards I'm going to keep for years and years down the road. I'm not going to open up an account and then close it. And plus it's not going to look good on your credit either. Okay, let's see. I use the SPG post-merger. This customer service has gone down drastically. The Marriott properties are much better in my opinion, though. I love the SPG Marriott autographed collection properties. Okay, so you're saying SPG's customer service has gone down, or so? Let's see. I used to love SPG post-merger. Customer service has gone way down. So you're saying the Marriott customer service is bad. Okay. And that's what ultimately for me, that's what it comes down to. It's customer service. And I was talking to, I think, Maddie yesterday about this. It's customer service is the big thing for me. And I mean, most hotel rooms, the expectation is that the room is clean and you have hot water and you have a comfortable bed. That's like most people, that's the standard, right? So most hotels are going to be able to accommodate that. At least the big chain hotels are. And if they don't have that, then they should be able to put you in a different room. And and I just say that because I did have an experience with Hyatt where I got a room that wasn't up to standard. And I think I actually did a video on this whole thing because it was actually kind of comical to me. And it's funny because I did get some hate from the video, like people were kind of mad, but I don't know why. But I'll just tell you guys a story if you guys don't know. So when I went to Thailand, I went to Thailand back in August of 2018. And the first 2 nights I stayed at a Hyatt Regency in, it was in Phuket, but it wasn't, like I didn't do my research, let's put it that way. So it wasn't where I wanted to be. But I was meeting a friend in Thailand and we were going to stay at another hotel. So I just wanted to stay there for 2 nights and I had a free night already planned. And so I came in late that night and I kind of, looking back on it, it was kind of irritating because, and I should have done something different, but I got there late and I had to actually pay for the night, even though it was like 2 a.m. And so I had to pay for that night, that whole night, and then for the next night, because at that point I didn't have I couldn't check in early because that's what I was trying to do, check in early, or I was thinking, well, maybe I can just wait. I can wait 4 hours, wait till 6 o'clock and then check in, but they weren't going to let me check in until 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I wasn't just going to sleep in the lounge. So I went ahead and paid for the room, checked in, and the rooms aren't that expensive. Thailand, that's one good thing. Rooms aren't that expensive, so it's not that big of a deal. It wasn't that big of a deal. So I checked in the room, I get in there, and I'm walking through, and it's just, this room is amazing, right? It's got like its own, it has the bathroom on one side, and then it has like another area where it's like kind of like I don't know a lot about interior design and all that, but it was a separate area where they had closets, they had sinks and big mirror. It was kind of like it almost looked like a walk-in closet, but it was open on both sides and you can just walk through there. So I walk through there and I go and I look at the where the bed was set up and everything. It was all nice, and then went out to the balcony, opened the door, and it was a nice view of the beach because we were like right on the beach. And so then I walk back around and I'm coming to the bathroom, so I'm going to check out the bathroom next. And I was actually recording it. I think I was recording it as I did it. And so when I came around and I came into the bathroom, 2 big cockroaches were running around in there. And so I was pretty irritated. And I had just gotten off a flight, and I'd been flying for, I think, like 24 hours. Or not total 24 hours, but from the time that I left, it was a 24-hour period. I really hadn't slept. I slept on the plane, but it wasn't like good sleep. And so I called down, and there was language barriers. So I'm trying to explain to the guy what's in my room and why I want to move to another room. And he didn't really understand what I was saying. And then I kind of had to, a bug, like a roach, because I was saying roach, and he didn't know what a roach was. So then I got it to, okay, it was a bug, and then a big bug. And so then I guess he realized what I was talking about. And so they did switch it. They changed rooms, so they gave me another room. And so that was fine. But yeah, so you expect that if you have a situation like that, they deal with it appropriately. He dealt with it appropriately. So I was okay with it. And then they moved me into another room, which was nicer than the room. Than the initial room that they moved me into, which was good as well. So, all right, let's see. Lionel, how you doing? Capital One has transfer partners as of December 2018. I have it and like it. So Capital One, but is it all the cards, or is it just a Venture card and I think one other card? Because that's what I heard. I heard it was 2 cards. I heard it was Venture, because I have like Venture One. I don't know I've never had a Capital One card, but I thought it was only a couple of the cards that they had the transfer partners with. But it's good. I mean, that's actually a really good thing. And the way that I look at this whole competition thing, I love it when you have companies like that step it up and saying, okay, we're going to have transfer partners now. And so now you're going to see American Express, and hopefully you're going to see Chase. Chase hasn't made anything new, like any new moves within this whole time period, because you had Venture, the Venture thing came out, or the Capital One came out with their whole new transfer partners. You had the Amex Gold card, which was a hit with the rose gold, and everybody was wanting to get that card and talking about it and everything. And then you had Citi come out and say, okay, we're going to revamp our Prestige card, and this is what we're going to start offering here. So they've all done something, but Chase haven't really announced anything that, as far as their brand, like the branded cards, yeah, they've announced, just like this card here, they've announced some of the new cards, but I'm talking about the Chase Sapphire Reserve or the Chase Sapphire Preferred. Those cards, they haven't made any changes. As a matter of fact, the changes that they've made, they've actually taken away some stuff. So they haven't really upped anything. But so I like the competition, because you get that competition in there, and that's going to push Chase hopefully to do something better. Offer maybe 100,000 point bonus again on one of their cards or something like that. All right, and I heard that the Chase Sapphire Reserve, they lost a lot of money on that card when they announced it, because they put it out there and it was 100,000 bonus points, and so they're still trying to recoup from that. That's what I heard. All right, Michael, how you doing? Let's see, Jeremy, I would want to end goal to work backwards. Okay, let's see. So Lionel, Capital One transfer ratio is okay, yeah. And that's another thing, their transfer ratio, and I think it's still fine, like that 2 to 1.5. You just have to see, like they've already announced some of the airline partners, and you have to see what kind of value you can get with flying on those airlines, on the different airlines. So even though the point's not 1-to-1, you're still, if you can still get good value and you can fly to different locations. And I haven't done all the homework when it comes to how you can really maximize your points, transferring the Capital One points to the airlines. But as long as you're able to get some good flights out of it, it's definitely worth it. It's a lot better than what they had before, right? Because they didn't have anything, and you were basically doing like kind of a cashback thing, or making the purchase, and then they reimburse you. And I can't say this enough. And when you start, all you need to do is do it once. When you get online and you transfer points over to one of these airlines and you book a flight, then you'll get what I'm saying, where you can really maximize, especially if you want to fly business class or first class. That's where you're really going to get good value, because and just to give you an example, I'm flying to Colombia in 3 weeks. That ticket up and back, so round trip, business class, cost me 70,000 points and $150. That's what it costs. And so if you look at it, and let's say the cashback value of 70,000 points is $700. I would not be able to fly. And I looked, and I'm flying from Los Angeles to Barranquilla for Carnival. Carnival is a big thing, right? It's like the second largest carnival in the world. It's only second to Rio. So I looked for a ticket, and this is kind of a last minute. I just booked it last week, so this is kind of still like a last minute thing, and it was like $1,300 for a round trip ticket. So, and it's usually not that much, but I'm just saying that's how much it was. So, and that's for an economy seat. Now I'm flying business class, which usually it's double that or even more than that, and I'm able to do it for 70,000 points. So, just to kind of give you an idea of how the points really work out in your favor if you transfer them. Now, if I were to do the cashback option, or if I had a venture, or I won't even say venture, but any card, if I had a card I want to do the cashback option, and I say, okay, well, I have $700 now, right? 70,000 points, $700. And then I go ahead and book the $700, and now I have to pay an additional whatever it is in order to book my flight, which is going to go way over $150. So let's say I had to pay 150 cash plus the 70,000. Let's say the 70,000 is worth $700. So that's $850. So I have $850 that I can use for travel, for flying. So I put that in there. I'm still going to need to pull out more money in order to get to that destination for an economy seat. But I'm going to be flying a business class seat. So, all right. I hope that all makes sense. And I know there's people on here that have used points, and I'm sure you guys have similar experiences. You can usually really maximize all those points. And if you want to, and for me, I don't know about you, but I used to be this way. Like, oh, you know what? I just want to fly economy. I'm fine. Cheapest ticket. Let's do it. Now, I want to fly business class pretty much everywhere I go, because once you get a taste of it, business class or first class, and when I say like true first class, if you're flying like international first class, once you get a taste of that, you're going to want to do that every time. And if you have the opportunity, if you have the points, you're going to want to do that because it's just so much. It makes traveling to a destination so much better, and you wouldn't believe. And being able to get on a plane and relax and roll your seat all the way back and go to sleep if you want. And then when you get to your destination, you're well rested and you can get up and you can do whatever. It just makes so much, it makes a big difference. Let's just put it that way. So you can get your vacation started off as soon as you touch down, as opposed to sitting on a plane and being all uncomfortable, not being able to sleep. And then when you get there thinking, okay, all I want to do is get something to eat and go to sleep. And then you waste the rest of that first day that you were there. So, all right, let's see. What else do we have? Okay, Jeremy. Would you recommend either of those cards for all daily spend? I forgot what cards we were talking about. Singletary. Just refresh my memory because I don't even see it. Okay, American Express customer service is, in my opinion, the best. Yeah, Jeremy, I don't have American Express cards, but I would, from what I've heard, yes, they have very good customer service, and so that's a good thing. And they've been doing this for a long time, as far as the whole travel reward cards and just really targeting their cards for people who travel a lot and people who have businesses in travel. So yeah, they've been doing it for a long time. Okay, Jeremy, this is such a big piece of mine. Wait, of mine knowing that American Express has my back. Okay, or peace of mind. I got you. All right, keep it at work, bro. Albany, Denver, over in St. Louis. How you doing, Jay? What's going on? Thank you for the kind words. And you're locking in from Denver, huh? A layover to St. Louis. Cool, cool. Let's see. Where are we here? Does Hyatt offer promotions to earn additional points like IHG, Hilton, and Marriott? They will. I mean, they have that whole thing where you can refer a friend thing, where they'll give you points for that. And at one point, they had, I can't even remember, it was with the old card though, not with the new World of Hyatt card. But they will do promotions sometimes to allow you to move up the tier faster, as far as nights that you need to stay in order to get the elite status and stuff like that. They'll do different things. I don't know what IHG and Hilton and Marriott do as far as their promotions. But the main promotion that they push pretty much all the time is the referring a friend. They always want you to refer. They give you, I think, 5,000 or 10,000 points for every friend that you refer. Let's see. Braveheart, what's up, man? Michael, okay, we already did that one. Mark, so the business travelers, all purpose. And Mark, I forgot to answer your question, man. It just clicked in my head. Let's see. Travel on all purchases. What do you think about these 3 American Express cards? You asked long questions, Mark. That's why. Damn, I have to get a consultation fee from you. Shoot. Let's see. 3 American Express cards. American Express Everyday, Preferred, Basic. I can't really speak too much on American Express because I don't have those cards. So if someone else in the chat has more information as far as is what Mark is asking about these American Express cards, please chime in and help them out a little bit. I'm mainly, like I said, I'm mainly on Chase, so that's kind of my I won't call it expertise, but that's where my knowledge comes from. Mystic, how you doing? Let's see, I'm not a fan of that card. All right. Okay. Mystic. What else do we say? Yeah, drop a like. Yeah, if you guys are here, please like the video because it helps get more people into the chat, so we can really have a bunch of people here. There's like 25 people in right now, but the more likes, the more, the algorithms, whatever they say, it pushes it up in the algorithms. If you're new here, please subscribe if you haven't subscribed to my channel already. We're gonna do videos every Sunday, and I'll on occasion, actually the last couple of Saturdays, I've been just jumping on and just talking. So basically, the goal here is to get you where you want to go as far as travel, and use points to get there. So do it as cheap as possible. That's what I'm really pushing. And I talked about this yesterday, but my whole reason for even getting into travel reward credit cards was kind of by mistake, because I started photography like 10 years ago, and I really, really love photography. And so I do landscape photography. I also shoot weddings, and the landscape photography I do more for myself, but I started out just doing it in local Los Angeles area, and then I branched out and started going to a few different states, taking pictures. And then I started thinking, well, wow, I want to go to different countries, right? I want to take pictures like these epic pictures that you see these travel photographers take. And so the first trip I took was to Puerto Rico. And this was about 2 years ago. Went to Puerto Rico, had a great time, spent way too much money just going on that trip and staying. And like I said, I wasn't staying like baller life. I was staying at a Holiday Inn Express, and I still spent a lot of money. So when I came back, I started thinking, wow, I really love going out and taking pictures, and that's something that's a passion of mine and something I really enjoy doing. But I can't afford to do this. Like, I can't afford to go to these different countries. It's just too much for the airfare, for the hotel. There's no way I can afford to do this. And so that's when I started thinking, okay, there has to be a different way. These people have to, there's no way, I mean, I have a good job. There's no way I can't afford, or there's no way that they're affording to do this and I'm not able to afford to do this. There's got to be something else that's going on. And so I started looking into it, and I started saying, okay, well, if people that like to travel a lot, they usually get travel reward credit cards. Well, why are they getting these travel reward credit cards? What are they getting out of them? And so then I started seeing, okay, you get these points, you get the sign-up bonus, and then you use these points to book your airfare, and you can book your hotel stay. And so then it started all kind of clicking. And then I remember actually my uncle, way back in the day, he used to do that. And he's retired now. He was a firefighter, and he used to travel all the time, like at least 5-6 times a year he would go somewhere. And so he was doing that, but I didn't really know what it was, so I didn't even really care about it at the time. But he would get these points and travel all over the world. And so that's when it started. And that's when I started thinking, okay, well, you know what? I need to learn how to do this. And so that's why I got into this whole credit card thing. And I've always been one of those people that has been afraid to get credit cards. And even to this day, I still don't like getting credit cards. And one of the things that I learned, and one of the things that really needs to, and I'm not an expert, okay? So don't take my advice just as I don't know, a side note, right? Just do your own thing. But for me, I've never been comfortable getting credit cards, but I've always thought that you get a credit card and you use a credit card because you don't have the money in the bank. That's the way that I was kind of brought up, right? Like you get, and you even hear this where you get a credit card for emergency purposes, right? You have it for emergencies. And so if there's an emergency, your car breaks down, you don't have the money in the bank, you use the credit card, and then you pay it off over time is kind of the way that I was taught. So I do the complete opposite now with credit cards. So I get a credit card, I use that credit card instead of using my debit card, okay? Because I don't use cash anyway. And now I don't use cash. I use my debit card. So instead of using my debit card, I'm using my credit card. Every 2 weeks when I get paid, I'm paying off my credit card. And the only reason I'm using my credit card is to get points. That's the only reason that I'm using it. I'm not using it because I don't have the money in the bank. I'm using it just to get points, and then I'm paying it all off. And so I'm never carrying a balance. And this is exactly what the credit card companies don't want you to do. They want you to carry a balance because they want that interest, because that's how they make their money, right? Or that's one of the ways they make their money. So that's what I do. I get the card, and people are really, and that's another reason why the credit card companies were saying that they're hurting so much, because people are doing the right things with these credit cards. They're playing the game that the credit card companies don't want you to play. They're getting the card, they're using the card, and then they're paying it all off. And so there's never any interest. So you get the big sign-up bonus, and you do one of two things. You either don't use the card anymore, or you use the card, but you pay it off every month, and they don't get anything else. There's no return after that. They don't get anything else on their investment, and they're giving out, right? They're still giving you the points, and they're giving you different benefits and all that stuff. And so that's the way that I go about it when it comes to credit cards. So that's my advice, but I'm not a professional. Okay, so do what you want to do when it comes to credit cards, but you really need to be careful, especially if you have an American Express card, because it is a charge card. Most of the cards are charge cards. So if you don't pay it off at the end of the month, then you can face, they'll obviously give you like a late fee charge, and then they can just close the account out. And if you have points in there, you won't have those points anymore. Okay, let's see. Moving on down. Nika, baby, how you doing? Lionel, just just the Venture card. Okay, you guys are talking about something else that I don't know about. Let's see. For business travelers on all expenses, including all airlines, what do you think about these cards? JetBlue card, Delta card, Southwest, and United. I personally like the United card because well, I'm not going to say because I just got it, but I did just get the Explorer card. So I do like that card. I'm not a big fan of Southwest. That's the main reason is I like to be able to choose my seat. So I don't like Southwest for that. Like I don't want to be in a situation where, and I know like if you have like elite status with them, then you can go on the plane first or early on. So you can pretty much pick any seat that you want. But for me, I like to be able to choose my seat and not have to worry about that. Because what if you get there late for whatever reason, and now you're the last person on the plane and you're sitting in the middle seat somewhere? Yeah, I'm not cool with that. Now, as far as Delta, I don't have any experience with Delta. I think I've only flown them once, and it was like 10 years ago, 10 or 11 years ago. So I don't really have an opinion when it comes to the Delta cards. JetBlue. Now, JetBlue I do like, and JetBlue I'm considering actually getting that card as well. The only problem with JetBlue is they don't fly overseas, and I think they've been talking about I think they might have purchased or are planning to purchase some planes that will allow them to fly international flights. So they do fly to some destinations that I like. Like they do fly out to Colombia, and I like to go to Colombia a lot. So I do like JetBlue. I like everything about JetBlue. The only thing I don't like is they don't fly international, and the partners they don't even have partners. I think that will get you there. Like Alaska Airlines, they'll have partners. So Alaska doesn't fly international either, but they have partners that will get you wherever you need to go internationally. So I'm pretty sure, if I can remember correctly, I don't think JetBlue has any partners that will get you international. So I mean, the way I look at it, I look at it like this: if you're getting these credit cards and you're getting these points, you're going to want points that really allow you to fly anywhere, right? So you want to go with airlines where those points can send you all over the world, because you never know where you're going to go, right? Or where you're going to want to go. And so you don't want to have all these points sitting in your account. Like let's say you have Southwest, you have all these points in your Southwest account, but now you can't fly to London, or you can't fly here because your points they're not going to get you there, because you can't transfer them to an airline that will get you there. All right, Nika baby, business class will have you spoiled. Yeah, it does. I mean, it's yeah. You get. I mean, it's even the flight when I fly to Colombia in 3 weeks. It's gonna be the business class, just a larger seat, nicer food. It's not gonna be like the real business class like when I flew to Thailand, where it was the lie flat seat and all that stuff. But still, it will. You'll get hooked on it. You'll like it. Trust me. You're gonna like it, and then you're gonna get to a point where you start thinking, just like with this flight that I booked. Now the taxes and fees are the same, right? So I told you it was 70,000 points. I still would have had to pay $150, and that's to fly business class. That's what it was, 70,000 plus $150 to fly economy. And the funny thing is with United, and when I was working this out, and I actually recorded it, so I'm gonna put this video together. I just haven't done it yet. But in certain situations, certain flights, because basically what they do is when they offer, United says they don't have any blackout dates, but basically what they're doing is they have allotted so many seats for 20,000 points that are economy. And then once they fill up all those seats for 20,000, or they start running low on seats, I guess you can say, then they'll bump it up. And so there was a situation where when I wanted to leave and when I wanted to come back, it was cheaper for me to fly business class than it was for me to fly economy. And so I know that doesn't make sense, but that's the way it is, and it's probably still that way. And I'm going to pull it up right now, just to see. But yeah, that's the way it is. It's sometimes it doesn't make sense. So the cheapest, if I were able to really work it out, it was going to cost me. It was going to cost me $150 still, and then I would have had to use 40,000 points. So 30,000 points more to fly business class. And you better believe I'm flying business class. I'm going to spend an extra 30,000 to fly business class. So I'm going to pull up this flight real quick and see if it comes up. And I'll just show you what I'm talking about. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, but I don't know that's the way it's set up. There might not even be any seats available now anyway, but we'll see. I'll pull it up. Yeah, there's still some seats available. Okay, so this is what I'm talking about, right? Now I'm going to look on here. I'm going to be mad because I had some issues when I book. Okay, and I'm already looking at it and I'm seeing some different things. Now I might still call them and change my flight, change my booking, because it looks like they have some stuff that's lower. But okay, so what I was saying, I'm flying out on Friday, okay? And if I were to fly out on Friday, these are the economy seats here. These are the business saver seats here, okay? And then this is business every day. So business every day, no, I'm not paying 90,000 points. And this is a one-way ticket here, okay? So the 70,000 was up and back. That was the 70,000. So this 35,000, this is the one I would pick, right? It's the same flight, same plane, same everything. You're flying on Copa Airlines. You can spend 50,000 points if you want to and fly economy. Why would you do that? Why would you ever do that? So I'm flying business class. Now, if you skip over, and one of the things that I say about points, you have to be flexible. If you're not flexible, if you can't be flexible, then you're probably you have one of two options. You have three options actually. Wait, one of two options. You can pay for the ticket, or you can go on the portal. So like go on Ultimate Rewards portal with Chase, and they all have portals. So you can go on there. It's Expedia, basically. You just type in where you want to go, what time you want to leave, and all that, and then they'll spit out all the different flights. Now, it's going to be a variety of different flights that you can book, but the points, you're going to use a lot more points going that way. Like if you fly economy, you might be able to make it work and not spend too many points. But if you're going to fly business class or first class, you're going to spend a lot of points in order to book through the portal like that. So it's really not recommended. Or at least I don't recommend it. So here, this is exactly what I'm talking about. 35,000 points compared to 50,000 points. And it goes like, see, here's the same thing. And if I wanted to maximize and do that economy for 20,000, then I'm going to have to fly on the next day. And that'd be Saturday. But the only thing is, if I'm flying out on Saturday, I'd get there, I think probably sometime, does it still say Saturday? Okay, yeah, so I would still get there on Saturday. But in my situation, I'm going to get there Saturday. I think I'll get there a little earlier on Saturday. And so if you look, and you still see a lot of 50,000 here, but if you move down, okay, here's a 20,000. So this is a 20,000 right here, and then the 35 for the business class. And then you start getting into these categories where you have a mixed cabin. So a mixed cabin, basically, usually the longest part of that flight is going to be the economy. So mixed cabin means that I'm going to fly economy from LAX to IAH. I think what is that? Panama, or I don't know what that is. Let's see the details here. Yeah, to Panama. So it says that's business. I don't get it. Okay. Oh, I think I clicked on the wrong one here. So it's this one. So no, it's Houston. So you fly to Houston, which is actually that's not that long of a flight. So you're going to fly to Houston first, that's economy, and then you go business class for the next two flights. So it kind of I don't know. It bothers me that when they have these mixed cabins, because you're still paying 35,000 points, but you're getting a mixed cabin, so you do have to fly economy on one of the legs, which I guess I'm being just too picky. But if I'm spending my points, I want to make sure I can maximize them the most possible. All right, so let's go ahead and pop back in chat. Let's see. Where did we end up? Where did we end up here? Okay. Wow, I moved down way too far. Okay, here we go. Odin, how you doing? Hello, live discussion 2 days in a row. I love the content. Thank you, Odin. I appreciate it. Yeah, Sunday's the day that I always do the live stream, but occasionally I'm going to jump in on Saturday. If I have nothing to do and I'm bored, then I'll jump in and we can discuss things. All right, points chatter. You can use the upper class clubhouse when booking a Virgin Atlantic domestic flight, domestic first class ticket to fly on Delta. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, that's good to know. That's actually a good tip. Thank you, points. I appreciate that. Nika baby, I want to do Cartagena in March, but the Hyatt is not available for points, and I am so sad. Okay, it's funny that you bring that up because, and they just built that. That's maybe 3 years old, and it's nice. It's a nice Hyatt Regency. So they built the Hyatt Regency in Cartagena. It's actually the first Hyatt that they built in Colombia. There's one more that they're building in Bogota, but yeah, I don't really like going to Bogota, so I'm not going to stay in that one. But I wanted to stay in the one in Cartagena. And it's funny because I was already planning, well, I shouldn't say that. I wasn't even really thinking about going to Colombia this soon, but then I didn't realize Carnival was coming up and people start talking about it. I'm like, oh, Carnival, I'd love to do that. And so I started looking, and I didn't really know the distance between Cartagena and Barranquilla, and it's about an hour and a half. So I was thinking, well, I can go and stay. I have points in the Hyatt. I can go stay at Hyatt for 2 or 3 days, and then just go out to Carnival for a couple of days. And then my plan was to go to Medellin, because I'm going to go to Medellin too. So I checked it out, looked on there, Hyatt Regency, rooms available, 12,000 points I think it was per night, and they were even accepting free nights. So I have 2 free nights that I've just had saved up that I haven't used. So I was all set. I was like, oh, that's easy. I can do 4 nights, no problem, right? The next week, when I decided, okay, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna book a room. I hadn't bought my plane ticket yet, but I wanted to book a room because you can always cancel your room, right? And so I get back on there. Nope. Nothing. They're not offering any point whatever garbage that they say, and that's one of the things that bothers me about Hyatt, is not all their hotels are gonna give you offer you the free nights and stuff like that, or even allow you to use your points to stay free. Sometimes they'll just put it on there where they're not going to accept it. So yeah, that really rubbed me the wrong way. And then I looked later on. So Nika, if you are planning to go in March or whenever, go back and look, because sometimes they will change it. Or if you have, I've noticed that, let's say you want to stay there 5 nights, and 4 of the nights are good for booking, for using your points, but 1 of the nights isn't good, then it's going to say that the nights aren't good. So if you kind of change it around, like let's say instead of 4 nights, or instead of 5 nights, you say 4 nights, or you kind of move it around a little bit, and maybe even get in a situation where you just punch in 1 night at a time to see what happens, and you might be able to see, okay, well, and I'll just give you an example. The 1st, 2nd, and 3rd are good, but the 4th and the 5th are no good. So stay the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, use your points, and then in Boca Grande, in that area, there's a variety of different hotels, and usually they're not that expensive. I've stayed at the Holiday Inn Express there in Boca Grande in Cartagena, and it's nice. It's new. They have a pool at the very top. They get free breakfast. So it's definitely a place that I would stay again if I was in a situation where I had to stay somewhere. And then they have some other hotels too. I would stick with if you're staying in Cartagena, I would stick with the larger name hotels, or like the chain hotels that we would know. I did stay. I stayed at I can't even remember the name of the hotel, but it was not a chain, and it was a pretty bad experience. And it was pretty it was pretty bad. The power went out probably. We were there 6 days. The power went out for like 3 of those days, and one of the days the power went out, it was out all day. And I don't know if you've ever been to Cartagena, but it's hot. It gets really hot. And so the power was out all day, which meant no AC. And we're up on the 10th floor. So power's out, no elevators. So yeah, you get the picture. So in going down the stairs, no problem, right? But you're not going back up to that room for no reason, because there's no AC, and you have to go up the stairs. So that wasn't even, we weren't doing that. So we were out the whole day, which you want to be out anyway, but it kind of sucks when you're out and you can't go back up to, or you could, but you don't want to go back up to the room to do anything, to change or do whatever, because there's no power up there. So yeah, that's so you want to stay with the popular hotels, and usually they'll probably have a generator. I don't know why this hotel didn't have a generator, but they didn't. So most hotels will have a generator, and they'll be able to run things. And that Hyatt Regency, that's a nice hotel, and it has a mall connected to it. So, and that mall is really nice. Like I've been in the mall, and yeah, you have everything in the mall, and then you also could think, okay, you have the mall there, so you have all the different places to eat and all that stuff. Yeah, it's a nice one. I will stay there in the future. I just haven't. I just need to find a free night, or they need to have a free night available so I can do it. All right, let's see. Point Shatter. What do you think about using the Ebates shopping portal to earn American Express membership reward points? Ebates, I don't even know how that works. I've never used Ebates before, and I see these commercials come on about Ebates and stuff like that. I've never used them, but they have, and just so you guys know too, and I'll speak for Chase because I've actually used Chase for this. They have shopping portals, so you don't always, like, let's say you have a Chase card, you can go through their shopping portal, and basically what a shopping portal is you'll go onto the Chase site, and you'll pull up a list, and it'll have a list of all these different stores: Home Depot, Lowe's, Staples, all the different stores, right? And you can go on there, and let's say you shop online, you can go on there and click on, let's say, Staples, for example. You click on Staples, it will take you to the site, but it has like a link to it, right? So when you go onto the site, whatever you purchase, you're going to get more points. So I don't know what Staples is right now, but let's say you get 4 points per every dollar spent, right? So you get 4 points for every dollar spent, plus you get whatever you would have normally gotten. So let's say the Chase Sapphire Reserve is going to give you 1 point for every dollar spent. So you get 4 points for every dollar spent for going through the portal, plus you'll get 1 point for every dollar spent. So you get 5 points for every dollar spent by going through the portal to make your purchase. And then you can do, Staples does a good job with this, Best Buy does a good job with this, where you can just order it and then go pick it up at the store. So I'll do that. Like I'll do that all the time with Best Buy. Like I'll get on there, I'll make a purchase, and their system, Best Buy's setup is really good, because you just walk in, go right to, they have the little station that you go to. You go right to the station, say, hey, I ordered this, and they take down your information. You use your credit card. I think you use your credit card again. I don't know. I can't remember. But anyway, then they have it there for you, and they just give it to you, and you walk out of the store. You're like in there. You're in there maybe 3 minutes at the most. So they have a really good system. So you can do that, and then you can earn even more points by using the portal. But Ebates, yeah, I haven't used that. I would anything that can get you more points, I would be all for. But I haven't used that. And like I said, I don't have American Express cards, so it wouldn't benefit me. But it would definitely benefit people who have those cards. Let's see, Nika Baby, Amex Everyday Preferred, Amex Gold, Amex Platinum, good trio. Yeah, I agree. Those are good cards. Yeah, those are really good cards. And in the future, I'll probably get at least 2 of those. The Amex Gold and the Amex Platinum, I'll definitely probably get. Definitely, probably. Did I just say that? Yeah. All right. Michael, what are your main travel cards when you go outside of the country? What will you be taking to Colombia? And it's Colombia, Colombia. And the only reason I correct you is because the Colombians really get mad when you spell their their country wrong. Just FYI, they don't like that at all. And obviously, Colombia, we have Colombia out here. So not Colombia, you know what I mean. But our Colombia is with the U. And so when I remember I was talking to a buddy of mine he's the one that kind of got me into going to Colombia. And we were chatting on Facebook, and I was like, yeah, I want to go to Colombia. And I spelled it with a U. And the first thing he sent back, they don't like when you spell Colombia with a U. You got to spell it with an O. I'm like, wow. Okay. So yeah, just so you know, yeah, you want to put that O in there. It's funny. I think it was on the news a couple of days ago, press release with, I don't want to get political, but it was a press release from the White House. And they just had Colombia's president was there a couple of days ago. So the press release came out, and they spelled Colombia wrong. They spelled it with the U. So yeah, that's not good. All right, Nika Baby, what camera do you use? What camera do I use for this? Or because I have a few different cameras, and I'll go over them then. So I have the Panasonic G7. That's what I'm using for this right now. So when I stream, I use this. We use that camera. When I shoot my videos, like if I'm in the house and I shoot the videos, like the sit down stuff, I use the Panasonic G7. I have the Sony A7R III. That's what I use mainly for my photography. But I'll use it for video as well on occasion. And then I have like a little action camera, Sony X3000, and I use that for just when I'm out walking around, stuff like it's just a small little camera, so I can kind of hold it up. I don't do that much vlogging. Like I'll do it every once in a while. I'm gonna start doing more, and like when I go to Colombia, I'm gonna do more because I like being out there doing it. Just I don't have that many people that really watch those videos, so I'm trying to build an audience for that because it's fun, like being out there and kind of telling people about the different foods, especially when it comes to places that you really like, that you're really passionate about. Like I like Colombia, and I want to share that with people because I think there are a lot of people that aren't they're afraid to go to Colombia. They hear all the bad things. They watch Narcos, and they think everybody's a criminal and all that stuff, and it's the opposite of that. And you can go like Pablo Escobar's hometown, Medellin. You go to Medellin, and it's a beautiful place, and the people are friendly, and the food is good, and the community. I mean, it's safe. So I'm passionate about that, and I want to share that with people from the U.S. because I think a lot of people would put that on their list of destinations, places to go. But, the videos that I put out now, they don't really do too well. So I'm really working on that. So I am going to do some more vlogging. But anyway, so I have that. And then I've just picked up the Osmo Pocket, that little camera. So I'm excited about that camera because that camera is very, very discreet. So I can just walk around with that, and most people won't even take a second glance. But it is kind of, when you have the bigger cameras, like even the Panasonic G7, when I'm walking around with that, people are looking and they're wondering, what are you doing? And then like, I don't even bring out the bigger Sony camera unless I'm taking pictures. Usually I don't use video because it doesn't have an articulating screen, so I can't see myself. So, all right, hope that answers your question, Nika. Let's see, what software do you use to edit? I use Premiere Pro, so I just have the suite, the Adobe suite. So I have all the different, because I started out even before. Well, I did a few videos way back when, but my main thing was photography. So I had Lightroom and Photoshop, and so I had those two, and I just decided to get the whole suite. It's like $50 a month, I think, something like that. But I have everything. So I can use all the different, and I have everything, but I only use Premiere Pro, Lightroom, Photoshop, and then After Effects on occasion. I'll use that, but that's it. And let's see, Mark, Lionel, both venture cards transfer miles. Okay. Let's see, Javier, with the Marriott, baby Columbia. With the O, Columbia with the O, laugh out loud. Okay. Okay. American Express, green card. Okay, so Jeremy's answering the question. Thanks for answering Mark's question. I appreciate that. So vacation travelers are all purchases. What do you think about freedom? Mark, you are killing us, man. What is this? What do you think about Chase Freedom, Chase Unlimited, and both Sapphires, the basic and preferred? Okay, so, all right, so for vacation travelers, now, are you talking about transferring points? Because this is what I'm looking at here. So if you have the Chase Freedom, or the Chase Freedom Unlimited, or even the Sapphire. And I don't even know, like the regular Sapphire, I don't know if that's a cashback card or what. I've never even considered getting that card. But if you want to have a portal, or if you want to be able to transfer your points and stuff like that, you're going to need the Chase Sapphire Preferred. So I wouldn't even, if I'm looking at getting started, okay, and I want to do vacations and I want to be able to transfer points, then all these first three cards I wouldn't even consider first. I would want to get the Sapphire Preferred. Get the Sapphire Preferred first, and then you can complement it with a Chase Freedom card or Chase Freedom Unlimited card. And the Sapphire card, I really don't even know the benefits of that card at this point. So if you know some benefits that you think would reason to get that card, then please share it with us. But I would get the Sapphire Preferred first, and then I'd look at the Freedom card. And for me, I have to, every time I come on this, I have to downgrade one of my cards. I have to do it. I have to do it this week because I keep putting it off. I'm gonna go over. I think March is when they're gonna charge me again I have the Sapphire Preferred card, but I have the Chase Sapphire Reserve card, so I don't need the Sapphire Preferred. So I want to downgrade it. So me personally, I like the Chase Freedom card because you have the rotating 5 points per dollar on, it's a rotating calendar. So I like that. So that's what I would go with. And then I have the Chase Ink Unlimited card. So there's no need for me to get the Freedom Unlimited card because the Chase Ink Unlimited is the business side, the business card. So they're the same card. So I can still get 1.5 points back on different categories. Okay, let's see. Jeremy, I have the Amex Platinum, Gold, Blue, Cash Everyday, and Delta Gold SPG. Okay, those are good cards. Let's see. Javier, with the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant card from Amex be a good combo with the Chase Sapphire Reserve? And we talked about this yesterday. I personally think it wouldn't. And the main reason why, first off, I think this whole Brilliant card is not brilliant because it's a $450 annual fee card. So it's a top tier card. They do give you that $300 statement of credit so you can use it for booking your stays with Marriott. So that's good. But My issue with the card is you're making it a top tier card, but if I have a top tier, if I have a Chase Sapphire Reserve card, a lot of the benefits that are offered with this Bonvoy card are they're the same that I'm getting with the Chase Sapphire Reserve already. So I can only stay at one, well, I can stay at more than one lounge, but if I have priority pass, I only need to use one priority pass. So if I have them for both cards, it really doesn't do me any good unless I guess I'm in a situation where I have so many people with me that I use one card to get a few people in and then use another card to get more people in. How often does that happen? But that's the only thing that I can see. So I can only use really one priority pass card at a time. What are the other benefits? The TSA pre-check or the global entry or TSA pre-check every 4 years or 4.5 years. I only need one, right? I can only use one of those. There's some other benefits too that Chase Sapphire Reserve gives you primary insurance if you rent a car. This one, the Bonvoy gives you secondary insurance, so you're not really going to benefit on that end. You get the free night, but you'll get the free night if you get the lesser card, the one we were talking about today. So the Boundless card. So yeah, I wouldn't get both of those cards. I think I was talking with someone yesterday. I think it was Maddie yesterday. I said, yeah, if I were in that situation, I would get the Boundless. If you really want a Marriott card, I would get the Boundless card. If I had the Chase Sapphire Reserve, I'd get the Boundless card, so the $95 annual fee, and then look at another top tier card that maybe you can get that gives you some different benefits. I mean, even like the Amex Platinum, if you don't have that card, because at least you get the Centurion Lounge that you can use with that. And then you get 5 times points if you want to book on an airline or with Amex Travel. So that's the way that I would go about that. But this card, yeah, to me, it's not really a top tier card. It really isn't. I don't know why they made that $450. Maybe they should have made it $250 or something. I don't know. I'm not really a big fan. And it's an American Express card, so traveling abroad, you might have some issues. So just think of that too. Not to badmouth American Express, and they are accepted in a lot of places, but Visa is accepted. Visa and MasterCard are accepted in more places. So that's my thought on that. Lionel, thanks, Mark. Okay. So you guys are talking about something else. I would go with the Amex Gold I would go with the Amex Gold or Platinum. Okay, so you guys are having another discussion. That's great. American Express charge overpayment plan for purchases. Okay, wait, I skipped ahead. Let's see. I hate when I lose my place, and I just lost my place. Where did we go here? Let's see. All right. Why are these messages getting retracted? What are you guys saying on here? Oh my goodness. What is going on? Yeah, so some of the messages, if you guys don't know, you write something. I don't know if it even shows up to you. Maybe it doesn't even show up, but it just says retracted. And then when it says retracted, that means that they've screened it and something's not appropriate with what was said. Let's see. Where did I go here? I totally lost my place. Okay, here we're getting close. Thanks, Mark. Okay, American Express. Okay, Nika baby. Bogota, Colombia. Question mark. So you're asking about Bogota, like if I think you should go there, or yeah, I don't know what your question is, Nika baby, but I will tell you about Bogota because I was there for a few days. Bogota is, first off, it's high. It's like 10,000 feet, so you're a high elevation, very thin air. Lose your breath when you're walking up a flight of stairs, all that good stuff. It's very cold. And it is the capital city though, so it's a nice place to go. Just if you want to see like the government, how the government buildings and stuff like that. If you want to see protests and stuff, because it's just like DC, you have a lot of stuff going on, right? So, so to see that is pretty nice, and you can see the presidential palace and the Supreme Court and stuff like that. So it's nice, and they have it. That's all kind of like in a central area. It's all in the same area. So it's pretty cool. And then they have like I can't remember the name of the place, Maserat or something like that, where they'll take you up the hill, and you can overlook the whole. There's a lookout where you can look over the whole city, and so it's nice. And then they have the salt mines. That's probably the best experience. Actually, that's one of the nicest, like, for photography, even though at the time I wasn't a good photographer. I was an okay photographer. This was when I went to Bogota. It was like 10 years ago. So I had just started taking pictures, and I didn't really know what I was doing. And so I got out there, and we went to the salt mines. And actually, let me just say this first. So I had an incident. I don't know if I was dreaming or what. All I remember is I jumped out of bed, and we're staying in a hotel. There's three of us, me and two buddies, and so I jumped out of bed, and I heard my phone ring. Whatever. I jumped out of bed. So then I went back to sleep, and when I woke up, my back was gone. Like I couldn't even move. It was that bad. And we were set to go to the salt mines that same day. And they had it all set up. They had the driver force and everything. And it was like an hour, maybe an hour and a half to get there to where we were going. And so I rolled out of bed, and I'm thinking, what the heck am I going to do? Like, my back is killing me. I can't, and I'm on vacation. I have to go. Like, I'm not going to just not go. And so, I'm walking, like, holding my back and get in the van. I'm like, and I'm trying to explain to the guy. And one of the things about Colombia is there are not very many people that speak English. So if you don't know any Spanish, then you're going to struggle. And that was back before the time where I would thought like, oh, you can use Google Translate. I didn't know about that. So I'm trying to explain to the guy, hey, my back hurts. You guys have like I'm trying to, like, icy hot or the Bengay stuff or whatever, that stuff I'm trying to explain to him. And so finally he realizes, okay, pharmacy. He wants to go to the pharmacy. He's hurt. So I go to the pharmacy, and now I have to try to explain to them the same thing. And so finally I got some stuff. And so got that, put it on my back, and my back was still killing me the whole way up there. When we got there, I'm still like limping around, but that salt mine is really nice. And basically what it is, they built a church into the salt mine, and I guess miners, and they might still be mining salt in there, but the miners would be in there, and they had a place they could go to church and then go back to work, that kind of thing. And so it's nice. You go in there, and it's like a full-on church, and they have like all these different colors coming out from these lights that are shining up to, I guess it's shining up on the salt, like the actual cave where it's like the salt is, and different colors and stuff like that. It's an amazing looking place because it's something that it's something that I've never seen before, and that I don't think there's any churches and salt mines anywhere else that I can think of that I've seen. So it's a pretty unique place. But the only thing is, like I said, I wasn't like the photographer that I am today, where like I look at those pictures and it's just painful to look at them because I didn't shoot it right, where it's all overexposed, like the lights are all overexposed, so everything is just blown out. So I would have taken a better picture today, and I'll probably go back at some point because I want to get that picture. That's like those pictures are really, I mean, that place is really impressive. And so if you can really capture it with a picture, it would really, really look good. But I didn't do it justice when I was there that time. All right. But overall, Bogota, it's a good place to go to see the government stuff, but I wouldn't spend more than a couple days there. You really don't need to. You'd have a much better time in Medellin. Medellin, I mean, they all have nightlife, but Medellin has some really good nightlife. They have really good food as far as like the food scene. And when I say good food, I mean they have a variety of different food from different, different countries. Like, we go in the U.S., there's Chinese food and Middle Eastern food and Mediterranean, Mexican, Spanish. There's even a Colombian restaurant that opened up in Orange County, which I think is amazing. I went there. I've gone there once, but it's just cool. I actually want to go back. I'll probably go back there before I go to back to Colombia. But in Medellin, they have all these different types of food coming from all over the world, which is cool. Let's see. I love Delta over here on the East Coast, so that's Jeremy. Yeah, and we talked about this too. Like, go with where you're gonna have Delta, American, United. They're all gonna have issues at some point, and you're gonna have bad experiences. Hopefully, you have more good experiences than bad experiences, but you're gonna have bad experiences with airlines. That's just the nature of the game, and you're gonna have planes that are gonna be late. You're gonna have planes that are gonna break down and all that. So you just have to kind of roll with that. But if you can find like if Delta has a hub near where you live, then it's probably a good bet that you should go with that airline and get the credit card that Delta credit card, because that hub is nearby, because they're going to have more flights that are going to be going out. And so that means cheaper flights. That means more award availability. So if you have points, you want to use points, you're going to have more availability because the hub is there. So that's something to consider. Let's see. Odin, did you book the Colombia trip when you had the United card? I heard that there are more saver reward options for the card. Yeah, I did book it when I had the card, and they do quote that you will have more. This is Odin asking this question. So he's asking, did I book the Colombia trip when I already had the card, or did I book it before? And I booked it when I had the card. So they do tell you that they give you more available space if you have the card. Now, I don't really know. Well, I don't really know because I looked a couple of days prior to that, and I had my whole itinerary set up. And then when I got the card, then I was ready to book, and then I got back on there and I looked, and the one that I wanted to book, I wasn't able to book. I had to book another one, and it's a big deal. It actually cost me $135 more. And the reason, and I forgot to say this, but my round trip ticket costs $150 using the 70,000 points. But I didn't want to just stay in Barranquilla. I wanted to go to Medellin. And so I needed to book a flight to Medellin. And so when I initially set up my flight and everything, I was able to, they have with United, they have stopovers. And so what a stopover is you can fly, let's say I wanted to fly to Barranquilla. So I flew to Barranquilla. I wanted to stay there from March 2nd through March 6th, and then fly out on March 6th to Medellin, and then stay in Medellin until March 11th or something, and then fly from Medellin to Los Angeles. So that was my whole flight, the way I set up the flight. And so I had a stopover in Medellin and then fly home from there. The only problem is when I looked, the initial time when I looked, it was perfect. So 35,000 points it was going to cost me to fly business class to Barranquilla. And then once I was in Barranquilla to fly to Medellin, I didn't have to use any points. It was like a free ticket. I think I might have had to pay a little bit of taxes and fees, but I didn't have to use any points in order to fly. It was a stopover. And so once I got to Medellin, then from Medellin back to Los Angeles, it was going to cost me another 35,000 points, and then whatever the taxes and fees were. So it was all set up. I'm excited. I get my card. I jump back on there. I try to book it. It's gone. So that middle flight, I wasn't able to book it for no points. I needed to spend 20,000 points in order to get it. So if I wanted to do it with no points, I would have had to wait 3 more days. And I didn't want to wait 3 more days. I wanted to fly out on that at that time. So what I did is I did a open jaw, whatever they call it with United, where you could fly. I can fly from Los Angeles to Barranquilla, and then fly from Medellin to Los Angeles, all on one ticket. So I can fly out of two airports is basically what they're allowing me to do. And so I just needed to fill that gap. So I just need to get to Medellin in order to fly back from Medellin to Los Angeles. And so that's what I did. So I had to book that, and that was $135 to fly to from Barranquilla to Medellin. So I hope that makes sense. But yeah, they say that they give you more. They say they give you more options or whatever you want to say, but that option wasn't available for me at the time. So, and that was just 2 days later, and it was so bad that I was so frustrated. I called them. I called United just to see, because I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe it's just not showing up in the computer. Maybe it's still available, but the computer's messed up or what have you, and it's not allowing me to do it. So I called them the next day, and they were like, no, this is what's available. But I said, but it was on there 2 days ago. Just 2 days ago, it was 0. And they had a lot more flights. There was like 10 flights that were showing up on there. She was like, no, they probably booked all up, which I don't think they booked all up, but whatever. I should probably check. I might check later on just to see if it comes available again. I don't even know how I would do it, because I can't cancel my flight. That one-way ticket that I paid $135 for, I can't cancel it. So yeah, I think I might be stuck there. But that happens sometimes. Let's see. Okay, EZO. I can't read all that. EZO. Okay, I can't read all that. I appreciate Delta United over AA over the simple reason they don't have their flight attendants constantly peddling their credit cards to the point where that is their priority. Wow, are they that bad on American? As far as, usually they only ask you once. Like, they kind of come through and say, hey, we have a credit card. If you want to get it, you can sign up now. Yeah, I haven't been, last time I was on American Airlines was a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. And I don't remember them really pushing it that much. It's funny, I don't even pay attention anymore. Like, I'm so tuned out when it comes to them asking about credit cards, because I already know, okay, yeah, I don't want this card. I'm not even, are you kidding me? So I don't even, I tune that out when they even push that. Let's see. Nika Baby. Oh, it's Houston. Okay, yeah, thank you. Yeah, IAH. And I've been to that airport a couple of times. That's weird. That airport, was it coming back? When did I miss my flight? Yeah, I missed my flight because of Houston. They did well, it was my fault. Never mind, I won't even go. I had water in my bag because I got off a plane. So we were coming back from Colombia. Our first time, it was like 10 years ago. I had water in my bag because I had it from the plane prior to. And so I totally forgot about it. So we go through customs and everything. Then we're coming back in because we have to catch our flight. And we only had a short period of time that we needed to get there. And so there's 3 of us. Me and one of my buddies are together, and my other buddy's a couple of people ahead of us. And so he goes through, goes right to the plane. So I come through and I have the water. So, they have to put you in secondary and go through all your stuff. And so that's what they were doing. And I'm telling them, hey, I have a flight. Like, I got to really catch my flight, like, right now. Like, okay, sir, it won't be too long. And they're going through it. Oh, we got to put your bag back through. So they had to put my bag back through. And then by the time my bag came out, and my buddy had already taken off, which was dumb. But me and my other buddy, we were still, like, he waited for me. But my other buddy wanted to get on the plane for whatever reason. So he jumps on the plane. And as soon as we get there, they close the jetway. And I'm like, you guys know I'm here. Like, what's going on? Like, I'm flying on the same airline, right? And was it Continental or I can't remember. I think it was like Continental back then. I don't even remember. But we're flying on the same airline. They knew that it was a short thing. Well, they didn't wait, basically. And what they do is they just fill your seat. So whoever's on standby, okay, let's go. And they close the door and they were gone. And so the plane is still there, but the jetway's closed, so you can't get on the plane. And so I just watched the plane leave, and my buddy's in the plane. And so he ends up getting to Los Angeles, and he had to wait because I drove, and I had my car in the long-term parking. And so he's stuck. So he's just sitting there. And so we get there. He had to wait probably about 3 hours. And so we get there 3 hours later, and he's sitting there with all of our luggage because our luggage made it. But yeah, it's just a mess, just a big mess. That's all it was. All right, let's see. Nika baby, what are the perks of the green card? I don't know American Express. I don't know the perks, but Jeremy, I think Jeremy has that card. So if he can chime in, that would be great. Or I think he already did chime in. American Express green card perks. That is funny. So what? There are no perks. Maybe it's a cashback card, I'm sure. But yeah. Can you spell out the city you are flying to in the chat? I see it starts with a B. Am I saying that funny? Barranquilla. Barranquilla. Here it is right here. I have it on the flight itinerary. So Barranquilla is, where did I see it? Here it is right here. And the airline, or if you're looking it up on the flight, it's BAQ. That's the airport ID or whatever they call that. So I hope that helps. But it's, Barranquilla. All right. Jeremy, American Express. Okay, we looked at that. Nika baby. I like the American Express green the best. Then the Everyday Basic. Not a fan of the Everyday Preferred. That's Mark saying that. I think this is the first time I've ever heard anyone say they like the American Express green card. Okay. Yeah, and I notice now, like, all the cards or all the programs, they kind of have the similar setup where they'll have like and I would think the green card is comparable to like the Chase Freedom card, the Chase Freedom Unlimited. I think they're probably about the same level. And then you move up and you get into the Amex Gold and the Chase Sapphire Preferred. And then you move up and then you get into the top tier cards. So they all kind of have that same setup where they'll have like the cashback cards at the bottom, and then you can complement those cards with a higher end card. Let's see. Anyone like the American Express card? How do you budget your travel plans periodically? Check your flight mile points. What's your process? Okay, that's Sean asking that. How do I budget my travel plans? So basically, when it comes to travel, I want to travel at least 4 times out of the country, at least 4 times a year. So that's kind of my plan. So from there, every year when I'm looking at my points, I'm constantly thinking, okay, I want to make 4 trips out of the points that I have. So generally, I found if I'm at around 200,000 points, I'm generally pretty good. But it's going to depend on where I'm going. Okay, so going to Colombia is 70,000 points. Well, I've taken a big chunk, right? So my other trips, I might have to be a little more creative as far as my points. If I only have, let's say I had 20,000 or 200,000 points to work with. I've spent 70,000 already on this trip. So let's say I've already know I'm going to Hawaii in June. So I'm going to have to spend points. I'll probably fly economy for that flight. And so that will probably be 40,000, maybe 45,000 points to do that flight. And then me and my buddy are planning a trip in August. So I already know that. So now I'm going to have to think. And generally what I'm looking for is airfare, using my points for airfare. That's usually where I use my points. I very rarely use my points for hotel stays. I haven't at this point, as of this point, I have never used like a free night, or I've used a free night, but I've never used points to book a free night. So if it's Hyatt and they say, oh, you need 12,000 points to book a free night, I haven't done that. Usually what I'll do when it comes to Hyatt, and they used to have a better program, they've come down. Like I said, they're coming down off some of the good perks that they've had. So now I usually will do the points plus cash. And the points plus cash in the old days, they do it by category. So let's say if you're staying in category 2, you would pay $55 and it was already a set fee. So $55 plus 4,000 points. And I think that's the way it was set up. It's something similar to that, right? And so that's what it was all the time. I can book it. Let's say I needed to stay at a Hyatt tomorrow. When I book it, that's what it would be. $55 and 4,000 points. So I already knew that. And so a lot of my travel, I'm traveling with other people, right? So if I'm staying in a hotel, hey, I'll take care of the room. Let's stay at a Hyatt. I'll take care of the room, like as far as booking the room and everything. And I'll use my 4,000 points. That's part of mine. And then they're paying $55. And so I'm really staying there for 4,000 points. But they've changed their program now as far as that goes, and now it's like half of the cost of the room plus the points. So if it's 5,000 points or 6,000 points plus half the cost of the room at that time. So if the room is $200, well, now you're paying $100 plus the points. So I don't like that they changed that, because that was they changed it because you could really make out good with that, but it is what it is. So I generally will use it for airfare. That's my main thing. So I know I can pretty much get up to 200,000 points every year. Even if I need to get a couple of cards to do that, I would do that. But for the most part, I'm usually around 200,000, and that's a comfortable number for me. So I would do that trip, set up my points to do that trip in August, and understand that this whole time I'm using my cards, spending money still. So let's say I have 200,000 points right now. Well, I'm still using my cards, so I'm still accumulating points throughout the rest of the year. And so I'll still have more points, before the year ends. And then I'm always looking for different little deals, because they put out different deals. They'll say, hey, open up a checking account. We'll give you $300. Well, those $300 are like points, really. So I just transfer those points up to my Chase account. Or Citi they were doing this stuff for a long time. They would do like these promotions, the same thing. They give you 50,000 points, and you can transfer it to American Airlines. Or you can transfer it to the thank you points. And so they do promotions as well. And I did it once. So I transferred, I got points transferred to American Airlines. All I needed to do was open up a checking account, and spend a certain amount of money and do a couple bill pays and all that. And so I did it, got the 50,000 points, and I used those 50,000 points with some other points that I had in the account already to fly first class back from Paris. So that's it. Really, it's not hard when you think about it. Like, I don't really have to budget. I just kind of look at what's available, and if I have the points, I'll use them. If I need to kind of step down and say, okay, I can't fly business class this time, or I can't fly first class this time, then that's what I'll do. And if it's a shorter flight, like even Hawaii is what, it's like 6 hours or something like that. For me, 6 hours it's not bad. Like a 6 hour flight, it's a straight shot from LAX. It's not, I don't have any layovers or anything like that. So I'm just going to get on the plane and we're going to go. It's not that long. Now, when you get into the situations where you have the layovers and all that, or if you're flying over to Thailand and it's a 10-hour flight here and then a 6-hour flight there, and yeah, you're going to want to fly something where you can lay down and go to sleep. So business class or first class if you can. So that's when I really want to use those points for that. Even this trip here to Colombia, I didn't have to fly business class. The only reason I did is like I showed you, 35,000, 50,000. 50,000 for economy, 35,000 for business class. I'm forced to fly business class. That's the way it is. I'm not going to spend 50,000. If I want to fly on that day, I have to spend 50,000. And Carnival starts on that Saturday. So I want to fly, and even though I'm getting there Saturday, I'm still getting there Saturday morning. At least I can kind of get everything together and then, go enjoy Carnival. So yeah, there's not much. I don't really think too much about it. It just kind of works out. And honestly, I'm going to be honest with you, if it's not working out, then that's when I'm starting to look, okay, well, maybe I should look into getting this card, or maybe I should look into getting that card. And I'm at a point now where I don't have that many cards and it's working. So even if I were to jump and get another card, it's not going to be like, oh, I have too many cards and I can't manage them all. So it works out. Let's see. What are the perks of the green card? American Express green card. I like the American Express green the best. Then everyday basic. Okay. So we looked at all these. Laugh out loud. Favorite credit card is going to be the Credit One credit card. I love it because it's the highest fees, starting charge, interest, data swipe. Okay, so you guys are having your own little conversation about the best cards, which is good. This is what I want. I want you guys to all chime in on what you think is good. Let's see, good one card. I love it because okay, we looked at that. I'm going to downgrade my Amex Everyday Preferred because I don't use it much. Yeah, and that's, if you're not using a card, then see if there are other options. I definitely agree with that, Nika. Let's see, Nika, you get better transfer partners with the Green Plus. The annual fee on the Green is waived the first year. Everyday Preferred isn't. Okay, points chatter. Hyatt recently acquisitioned, of the SLH, now allow you to book and get very good value in Suntory. Yeah, so so points chatter is talking about they did, now did they, you say acquisition, I don't know if they bought this, or they just have an agreement now, partnership with, what is it, small luxury something or other. Anyway, they do have some other properties that are available now. Small luxury hotels or something like that, I think it's called. But they're still, their footprint is still very small relative to Marriott and IHG and Hilton. Let's see, you get the same exact transfer partners with the green card as you do with the transfer partners through the American Express. Okay. I really like the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant. You can get a lot of money out of it, especially if you book during events. Ritz-Carlton in March is a good example. Yeah, but how many points does it cost? Do you need to book like a Ritz-Carlton? Yeah, you're getting that 100,000 bonus points after the first 3 months if you hit that minimum spend. But I would be curious to know how many points it would take to book a Ritz-Carlton. It is nice though that you have that option to stay at a Ritz-Carlton. Like you have an option with if you go with Marriott. So that is good. And this is Chris that's talking about that he really likes the Bonvoy Brilliant card. But yeah, it's you have to look at the value too. Like I don't want to waste and the reason that I don't like to use my points to book hotel stays is because you can use a lot of points, and especially if you're staying at some of the nicer properties. So hotel is not my big thing. I want to be out anyway. I don't need to have a luxurious hotel. And I was telling my buddy this because he was all on this whole baller lifestyle, going, because you go to Thailand, you go to Colombia, you go to a lot of countries where the dollar is really strong there, and you can, for $100 you can have some really nice stuff. But I'm not all about the baller lifestyle. I want to get there and I want to experience things outside of the hotel. I don't want to be in the hotel. Like, I don't need all the luxuries of the hotel has to offer. I want to know what the city has. So my buddy well, I think he's changed a little bit. The Thailand experience has changed him a little bit because we went to Thailand, and remember I told you I went from the Hyatt Regency, stayed at the Hyatt Regency for a couple of days, and then we went and stayed in another hotel. And this hotel, he looked it up and he saw the pictures, and I will admit the pictures looked really good. It was like a condo, or not even it was like a condo, like a townhome really. You walk in, you have the kitchen, and like you walk in, it's a bungalow, so you have your own little space there. It has a pool in the bungalow. So the pool's there, you walk in, you have the kitchen, you have 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. It was nice, okay? We were paying $130 a night, and it was a nice place. The only problem, the location was horrible. We were in the middle of nowhere, and we were in Phuket. So what do you want to do when you're in Phuket? You want to go to the beach because you have nice beaches out there. You have Patong Beach, you have Bangalow Road, you have all that stuff. 45 minutes away from us. So we're way, way away from everything. It costs $10 for us to take a cab just to go to the nearest grocery store. And so after being there one night, I said, we can't do this. Like, this isn't even worth it. It's going to cost us $40 to go to Patong Beach. So we're going to be paying $40 to go up and back each, where $40 up, $40 back, $80 a day just to get to the beach and back. So yeah, long story short, we lost $1,000 because it was a non-refundable booking. So we booked it, couldn't get out of it. I tried for 2 days. I tried to get out of this, giving them all the excuses that I could think of in order to get out of our agreement. And my buddy paid for it up front, so I had to give my buddy the money. And so yeah, we had to eat $1,000, and we took off and went to a Hyatt place in Patong Beach, right by the water. We could walk to the water in 3 minutes. And we were staying, it cost $50 a night to stay at the Hyatt place. And so I got a room and he got a room. We had our separate rooms. So yeah, it was just a lesson learned, but he wanted to be the baller. Like, he wanted to live the baller life. And he sees this pool. You have your own pool. Who cares? I don't care about my own pool. I want to be out. I want to be at the beach. I want to be walking down Bangalow Road and all that stuff. Yeah, so it was lesson learned. And there's a reason why it was non-refundable. It was non-refundable because most people get out there and they're like, we can't stay here. We want to do all the activities and stuff. It's only good for people if you're going in a large group and you guys just want to be secluded in this, and you want to stay at that hotel and not really go anywhere. It's perfect for that. Or if you're honeymooning, you go out there, it's perfect. You don't want to spend time doing, on the beach or anything like that. You just want to spend time with your significant other. Perfect for that. For us, 2 men, no. We need to be out by the beach and out by the bars and all that stuff. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Let me refer you to Ebates. Laugh out loud. So, and I don't know how Ebates works. Like I said, what's the? And you refer me. What do you get out of referring? And what do I like? What's the? I don't get it. Is it just? I know it's like an online site where you purchase things, but how do you get kickbacks? Let's see. You get a free $10. All right. Nika Baby, the basic everyday card. Okay, so you guys are still talking about Amex, which is good. One day I'll know more about Amex stuff because I'll get a couple cards. But until then, let's see. After 30 transactions, you get more points for the everyday. Okay, everyday moving to Colombia. You ever think about moving to Colombia? Nika Baby asked that question. Yes, I've thought about it. I don't think I would ever. I would want to spend a lot of time there. Like I think at this point you go there, you get a 3 month visa, so you can stay there for 3 months, and then you can renew that visa and stay there for another 3 months. So it'd be 6 months. And you could stay 6 months in the country, and then you have to go back home. If you don't have another visa, like there are other visas you can get. You can get a student visa if you're taking classes at the colleges. You can do like a business opportunity kind of stuff where you can get visas for that. But I really like Colombia in the sense that it's just undiscovered, and for photography is the main thing that I'm thinking about. Like it's undiscovered. There are not too many photographers go to Colombia or really pitch going to Colombia, but there's so much stuff out there to photograph. You have some of the most exotic birds in Colombia, and you think like people all think, oh, Costa Rica, Costa Rica. No, they have more exotic birds in Colombia. So if you're like a bird photographer, it's like a perfect place for that. Plus, they have a lot of different places, a lot of different things to take pictures of. So I would ultimately, my goal would be to spend a lot of time there and work on relationships in order to start doing photography stuff out there, photography tours, workshops, all that kind of stuff. So that's where I would go with that. Now, living there full time, I don't know. Like the U.S. is always home, right? So I love going there and I love spending time there, but I don't know if I could just say, yeah, I'm just gonna drop everything and move out there and live forever. I don't know, but I like it enough to, yeah, I would want to spend at least the 6 months there. So maybe go there during the winter time here, and then come back for the summers here. And when I get to the point where I retire, then that's probably what I'm going to do, because it just makes sense. Especially if you go to Medellin. Medellin is 75, 80 degrees year round. So you're going to go to nice weather when it's bad weather out here. So yeah, that's probably going to be in my plans. Let's see. God, I keep skipping. Okay, here we go. Ebates is awesome. I've made about $1,300 back from them on things I would already. Okay, and so when you're purchasing on Ebates, I'm going to do some research on Ebates, but when you're purchasing, you're just purchasing at the stores that you would normally purchase, because you can't use Amazon, right? Because Amazon is like, that's Amazon the only thing I shop on. Like when I buy things, it's on Amazon. Like I don't really shop other places. I just, for the stuff that I need, a lot of the stuff that I need is photography related, and Amazon is the perfect place for that. Let's see. Mark all of our cards have access to the same transfer partners from Amex. Okay. Sticking Amex cash back with my Amex offers. Wish I points instead. Cashback. So I just so you guys know, I'm scrolling through some of the questions, but if they're not like related, or if you guys are talking about stuff with each other, then I'm just gonna kind of gloss over them. I don't want to. I won't. I understand you guys are answering each other's questions. So, basic Sapphire is a travel card, but it is free charge with no transfer partners. and 3% foreign transaction fee. Yeah, so Mark, and that's what I'm saying, Mark. So Mark is talking about this basic Sapphire card. So it's not the Sapphire Preferred, it's just the Sapphire card. It's a travel card, but it's no annual fee, looks like, and it has a 3% foreign transaction fee. So I don't really see a need to get that card. Like I don't see a benefit in getting that card. And if I'm going to get a card for travel, I'm going to want to at least have, if you're going to go with the Chase ecosystem, you want to at least have the Chase Sapphire Preferred or the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Those are the two cards, one of those two cards you need to have. Or you go with the business end, the Chase Inc. Business, whatever it used to be the Chase Inc. Business Plus. That's the card that I have, but they've changed the name now. So you want to go with one of those three cards because those cards will allow you to use the transfer partners. And then you can get another card, the Chase Freedom card, which the Chase Freedom card is just a cashback card. But if you have points on that card, you can transfer those points up to the Chase Sapphire Preferred or the Chase Sapphire Reserve, and then it will allow you to transfer those points to the airline partners. So if you just have a Chase Freedom card, you don't have any transfer partners. You just have a cashback card. If you have the Chase Sapphire card, you don't have any, just the Sapphire, not the Sapphire Preferred, but just the Sapphire, you don't have any transfer partners. So you need one of those cards in order to transfer it up. So I hope that makes sense. And I, even though I know this, I got on and I have a Chase Inc. Unlimited card. And just when I was booking this Colombia trip, I get on there and I pull it up and I just hit the bonus on it. So it's, or not just, but a couple months ago I hit the bonus. So I had 50,000 points in there. I'm like, oh, you know what? I'll just use those 50,000. So I get on there, and you can go, when you get on the Chase portal, or the Chase portal, you can go down and you can choose the card where you want to take the points from. So I chose that card, and I'm looking at the top and I'm like, where's the transfer partners? I know they're on here. And so I'm clicking, I'm looking for it. I don't see the transfer partners. Well, yeah, because I can't transfer. They don't have transfer partners on that card. And so what I needed to do is transfer my points from the Chase Inc. Unlimited to either the Chase Sapphire Reserve or the Chase Inc. Business Plus card, or the Chase Sapphire Preferred if I wanted to do that, because I have that card still. And so that's what I did. So I transferred the points up to that one of those cards, and then from there, then I can transfer the transfer partners. So even I got like thinking, what's going on? I can't find it. It's got to be here somewhere. Yeah. So yeah, you just understand. Yeah, you can't do that. Let's see. So in my mind, like Mark, I don't see any need to get the Sapphire card. It just doesn't. And then you have to pay the 3% foreign transaction fees. Then it's a travel card, but a travel within the U.S. Because why would you pay 3% foreign transaction fees when you can get a card that's you're not gonna have to pay anything on transaction? Okay, but it's 35,000 versus 50,000 point difference. And I guess you guys are talking about the card, the sign-up bonus. Okay, you're talking about, so I think Chris is talking about the Marriott Bonvoy compared to the Marriott Boundless. So the Brilliant and the Boundless. So it is 35,000 different. So 35,000 for the Boundless and 35,000. The free night value is 35,000. The free night value for the free night value for the Boundless, which is the $95 annual fee card, is 35,000. The free night value of the Brilliant is 50,000. And that's my question. Like I don't have a Marriott card, so I don't know what's the value. Like, what are you getting out of that 50,000 point value for a free night? What does that get you? Let's see here. The Marriott top tier card free night is 50,000 instead of 35,000. Okay, yeah. So I'd be interested to know, what is that getting you? Like a 50,000 worth of free night worth 50,000. What is that? Is that a Ritz-Carlton, or is that something lesser? Because that's what it all comes down to. Because they put limits on it. Even we did the review of the two cards today, the Hyatt card, the World of Hyatt card, and the Boundless card. Well, the World of Hyatt, it's a category 4 or lower. So a category 4, you could find some Hyatt Regencies that are category 4. But when you're talking about Park Hyatts and the higher end Hyatt hotels, you're not going to be able to book a free night there. Not with that anniversary free night. You're not going to be able to do that. Okay, let's see. Chris, love out loud, right, Michael? Love out loud, you beat me to it. Okay, the 50 free night is enough to cover the effective annual fee of $150 on a Brilliant card, but the Platinum also gives you Marriott Gold status and Hilton Gold. Okay, and that's a good point, Javier. So if you're looking at, and you do have to look at the fact that the Amex Platinum is a little bit more, $550 annual fee, but you get more benefits with that card. If I'm looking at the two, I'll be honest, if I'm looking at the two cards, $550 annual fee for the Amex Platinum, $450 annual fee for the Brilliant Bonvoy card, I'm going with the Amex Platinum. Because the Brilliant Bonvoy is, I have the Chase Sapphire Reserve, so I'm already gonna be bumping heads with a lot of the different benefits that card's gonna offer me. So with the Platinum, the Amex Platinum, you're getting the gold status with Hilton, and you're getting the gold status with Marriott. So now you have two gold status with different hotel chains. Whereas the Brilliant, you're only going to get the gold status with the Marriott. So that is a good point, Javier. Let's see, the new Marriott Boundless versus the Hilton Ascend card. Both have an annual fee of $95. Yeah, and I should look at both of those too. Today we just looked at the World of Hyatt and the Boundless card. And I think, just me personally, I think the Hyatt card is the better card. The points are worth more, and although they don't have the large footprint that Marriott has, the properties that I've stayed at Hyatt, they've been nice, so I've been happy with them. But Hilton, yeah, I'd have to look. I'd have to look at that card. I know Hilton's Aspire card, that sign-up bonus is like 150,000 points, and I know their point value is even less than Marriott. So 150,000 is good, 100,000 is great, 150,000 is better, but it evens out when you start looking at how much those points are really worth. Okay, Nika baby, how are you? To get status with the Platinum, you have to book with the Platinum. Okay. Let's see, Javier. No, I think you're given gold status with the Marriott just by having the Platinum, I believe. Yeah, I don't think you have to book with them in order to get that status, because I think you sign up for this status. Like, you have the card and then you somehow sign up, like probably online some kind of way, and then they grant it to you. Like they give it to you. So I don't think you have to use the card in order to get that status. Use the card at the hotel in order to get that status. I don't think that's the way it works. I could be wrong, but I don't think it is. Let's see. Easy. Is that bad that AA there? Even else, they're flyers who have top tier one world status to guilt trip you. They announced the flyers? No. So Easy says it's that bad on AA. They'll even announce the flyers who have top tier one world status to guilt trip you. Yeah, but see, and that's just a false. Yeah, that's a false. These people are flying a lot, and you're just getting a card. Just getting a card isn't going to get you elite status or get you all the miles. You still need to do the flying. So yeah, like I said, when they start talking about the points and all that stuff, trying to sell you the cards, I just tune out, because I'm not. I already know ahead of time. There's not much that they're going to tell me, and if I already have the card, like the only time I really was thinking about it was this last trip that I took when I was on United, because I was already thinking, yeah, I want to get that card. So I listened a little bit, but I think at that time the sign-up bonus was, I think it was 40,000. So it wasn't anything special. And then I got the business, the Explorer card, the United Explorer business card, and that card is 75,000 right now, bonus points. So that's why I got that card over the personal card. Let's see. Okay, I just got the gold, but I plan on getting the platinum mid-year. So I was wondering. Okay, so that's Nika Baby saying that. Yeah, I think you just sign up. I don't think you need to have. You need to use the card in order to get that gold status. But yeah, that's good. And I know with Hilton gold status you get free breakfast. I don't know about with Marriott their gold status if you get free breakfast. But and for me that's like I like to eat. That's a big deal. So the whole free breakfast thing is a big deal. So and I'll stay at a lot of Hyatt properties, the Hyatt House or the Hyatt Place, because you get free breakfast. Whereas Hyatt Regency, you're not going to get free breakfast unless you're globalist status and they don't have a club, like a club lounge. If they have a club lounge, you'll get the club lounge access with globalist, but you're not going to get the free breakfast. And so it's big when you're traveling. One of the things that I like when I travel is I like to be able to get up in the morning, go down, eat breakfast, figure out what I'm going to do for the day, and then go out and do whatever, and not have to think about, oh, where am I going to go to eat for breakfast and all that stuff. Because usually you get a little bit for breakfast and you're good for, I'm usually good for most of the day, and then I'll eat dinner later that night. And so it's a big deal. And some of these hotels are ridiculous when it comes to when you have to pay for breakfast. We stayed at a Hilton in Kauai a year and a half ago, and they were charging $27. It was a breakfast buffet, $27 per person. That's nuts. It's crazy. So you got 5 people and you're spending over $100 for breakfast. Yeah. And it didn't even look that good because it's right out there. Like you're walking past it as you when you come in and go and leave. And so we didn't pay it. I didn't pay $27. You might as well go down to, I mean, in Kauai is so small, you just get in a car, 3 minutes down the road, you can go to a nice restaurant, nice sit-down restaurant. So we even have places where we could walk to the restaurant. So yeah, it's just amazing what they're charging. Like if you actually have to pay for it, it's ridiculous. Let's see. Nice at 4 times on travel and dining is hard to beat, Nika. Yeah, so you guys are talking about the Amex Gold card. Yeah, that 4 times is really, that's good. And then grocery stores, don't forget that. That's a big thing. Only in the U.S. though, but still, it's still good because, and I got into discussions with people about this whole thing. It's not a travel card, the Amex Gold. It's not a travel card because you only get 4 times in the U.S. Well, most of my spending is going to be in the U.S., so it's a travel card because, for one, what if you travel in the U.S.? It's still a travel card, right? You're still getting points, but what's more important to me is if I have other cards, this is a good card that will complement those cards because I'm getting 4 times on dining and travel and 4 times at grocery stores. I can earn all those points while I'm here and then use those points to get to wherever destination I want to get to, and then use my Chase Sapphire Reserve, or then use another card in order to maximize my points. But yeah, it's a travel card. If you're getting 4 times points on travel, guess what? It's a travel card. They're pushing the whole travel thing. Yeah. Let's see. Javier, I don't like the Ascend card for long term because it does not have an annual free night like the Marriott card. Okay. I didn't even know that about the Hilton card, the Ascend. Yeah, that free night is big. And usually I haven't been using my World of Hyatt card that much. So in order for me to really get that value every year, I'm going to have to use that free night. And so that alone is what most people keep the card for, the free night. So if they don't even offer a free night with this SIN card, then it kind of makes it, that's a tough card to want to keep long term, because if you're not really getting much value, and usually the branded cards don't really give you much value unless you're staying at their hotels all the time. So if you're not really getting that much value out of the card, it's going to be a hard card to keep. Okay, Michael, Javier, I don't like, he said, okay, we already read that one. Good point, Michael, thanks. Nika, baby, I know, I love the gold card so far. Yeah, that card is good. That card's definitely a good card. There are people who have been upgraded to the Aspire from the Ascend, and they still pay the $95 instead of the $450. Wow. I don't know. They better keep that quiet. they're gonna lose that. Yeah, I don't know about that. They're gonna lose it if they say too much. Okay, Nika baby, I have the Amex SPG Hyatt. I'm going to get the Hilton card. I wish I could get the IHG, but 524. Dang, Nika, you have a lot of hotel cards. So you just stay all in all these different hotels. Yeah. What other cards do you have, Nika? I'm just interested. Let's see. Let's see, Javier. I currently just got the Chase Sapphire Preferred, and I want to finish the Chase Trifecta first. Okay, so you're answering another question. Nika, BAQ, got it. Yeah, Barranquilla. Hey, Javier, let me know. Let me refer you to the Freedom Unlimited. Yeah, if you guys have referrals, I'm okay with that. Like, if you want to share them, that's fine. Let's see. I already have enough. Downgraded Chase Sapphire Preferred. Yeah, okay. I'm looking for a good hotel card to keep long term. How do you like the Hyatt card, Nika? Okay, and I can answer that too, Javier, as far as Hyatt. I mean, I like it. I think it's a good card. I don't like that new bonus, sign-up bonus that they have. But if you're okay with spending $6,000 to get the 50,000 points, then it's good. But I just don't like how they've broken it up now. And I hope that this is not a pattern of like something that's going to be all the cards are going to start doing. But I think they're all trying to combat the people that are churning cards, and so that's why they're changing it up like that. But it's a good card. I like it. I'm pretty happy with it, and I'm happy with the properties. That's the main thing. Let's see. The green card is close to the basic Sapphire. The gold is the Sapphire Preferred. The reserve is the platinum. Okay, yeah, that's probably about right. I don't know what the green card, like green and Sapphire. Like I said, I don't even hear anybody promoting the Sapphire card. It's very, it's kind of underrepresented, I think. Nika baby, I just got the Hyatt card and the Amex Gold, January 9th. Still trying to hit minimum spend on both. Okay, so Nika, did you get the Hyatt card before they did the new bonus, or the new sign-up bonus? Did you get it for the 60,000 sign-up bonus? Because if you got it for the new one, then yeah, that's that minimum spend. I hate that. I haven't stayed at a Hyatt yet, but I wanted to do Cartagena late March. Yeah, that one's nice. You'll like that one for sure. If you hit the minimum spend, you'll have, or if you hit the bonus, you'll have either 50,000 or 60,000, and I think per night it's like 12,000 to stay a free night. So yeah, it's nice. That's a nice. I haven't stayed there yet, but I would say it's the nicest hotel. Just looking at it from the outside, it's the nicest hotel in Boca Grande. So in that strip of hotels. And just so you know, like Cartagena reminds me of like Florida, I think Miami, Florida, where they have all the high-rise buildings, like right on the water. It reminds me of that. So Boca Grande is that area where they have all the high-rise hotels. And they just built that Hyatt, and it's the nicest hotel there. And then they have the nicest mall that's connected to it. So, yeah. Let's see, easy, yes. The 248 rule is only the Sapphire card. Okay, let's move on. Well, I didn't know that. Boy Chatter, yes. They acquired small luxury hotels of the world. Yeah, so Point Chatter's talking about the small luxury hotels. Yeah, and I guess they acquired. So you're saying that they bought them. I didn't realize they bought them. I thought they had like a partnership with them. But I'll have to look more into it, the small luxury hotels, but they just sound expensive. I don't know. Luxury, I don't know. And like I said, I just want a clean hotel room. That's all I want. Let's see. That guy, what's going on? I'm still waiting for the new Amex Green. Does anyone else Amazon membership? That would be a great card for us who buy so much at Amazon and hopefully get 3 to 4 times points. Is that a question? Okay. Okay. Right now, get you off-peak night at category 1 through 7. Okay, so Easy saying that the 50,000 Marriott points will get you an off-peak night at category 1 through 7. What's the highest category though? Because like, is category 7, is that like the nicest hotels that they have? Let's see. If you're coming to evaluation or devaluation, you could get a free night at the W, the Regis, Ritz-Carlton, JW. Okay. Wow, you could get, that's pretty good. That was back in the old days. Now you can't do that anymore. I stayed at the Ritz in Egypt, $80 for breakfast. $80 for breakfast. Oh my God. $80 for breakfast for 3 people. That's Nika baby saying that. Wow. Yeah, but it's Ritz. So yeah, it makes sense. I was staying at a Hilton. It was a night. I mean, no, it wasn't. It was okay. The hotel was okay. It was old, and it was on the water. But $27 for, wow, $27 for breakfast was just crazy. Let's see. Only travel out of the country like 4 or 5 times a year. I just use Chase when I'm out of the country. Yeah. That guy, Amex Gold, is only 3 times on travel. Oh, it's 3 times on travel. That's right. 4 times on, so it's 4 times at groceries and 4 times in travel. No, 4 times on what? Restaurants. There it is. All right. You could be, oh, a lot of places don't even take Amex overseas. Yeah, and I'd be interested to know, the people in the chat right now, what is your success rate when you're using your Amex cards in other countries? Are you finding that you're able to use them? Are you getting a lot of roadblocks? Like, are you going to different places and seeing that they don't accept American Express? What's your experience been? I'd be interested to know that. Like I said, I use the cards that I have are Visa or MasterCard, so I don't have any Amex cards. So I hear about this, like people will put that out there, and that's like one of the things that you always hear when when people are talking in the chat, or people are talking in the comments, or people are just talking in general. Well, Chase is better than American Express, and American Express you can't use it everywhere, but Visa you can use everywhere, and so you just get into these arguments and stuff. But I would be interested to know, like, do you guys have issues with that, or is that just, I mean, is it very minimal? Like, because let's face it, there are places, depending on where you're traveling to, there are places where you go that won't accept credit cards, period. You need cash. So there are times where even if I have a credit card, I can't use it. So I still have to go get cash out, go use my ATM card to get cash out, because they're not going to accept cash. And actually, there's a lot of places. I mean, when you just think about when you travel, especially if you're in underdeveloped countries, yeah, there are a lot of places they won't accept credit cards. You go get souvenirs and things like that, you're not going to be using a credit card. You're going to have cash. So usually the only time I really use a credit card is when I go to restaurants and stuff like that, or if I'm booking like an excursion, then I'll use a credit card. But there are a lot of different situations where I use cash because in most situations they're not going to let you use a credit card. Let's see. I haven't had any problems with Amex being taken overseas. It just isn't good to get one-time points for Amex purchases. Yeah, I agree with that guy. Let's see. Nika baby, I always have problems with Amex overseas, especially local shops and restaurants. Hotels and malls are usually okay. All right. Let's see. Mark is saying Travel Explorer. You're right. The gold card is a travel card. Okay. And my name is David, by the way, so you guys can call me David. But I know Travel Explorer Click is my thing, the name of the channel. But just so you guys know, you guys are my friends. My name is David, so you can call me David. Let's see. Yeah, I got the Hyatt for 60,000. Okay, that's good. And the Rose Gold Amex card, that's good. January 9th was the last day for both. Oh, so you waited till the last minute. Yeah, that's 60,000 bonus points. That's good. So once you hit that, if you're set to go to Cartagena, stay at the Hyatt Regency, you'll be happy. It's a good place. I'm saying that I haven't even stayed there, but it's you're gonna be happy there. Like I'm saying, when I go back, because I won't be going to Cartagena this time. At least I don't plan to go to Cartagena. But when I go back, I want to stay at that hotel. I've been wanting to stay at that hotel. When I went the last time, they were still building it, and it was almost done. Like it looked like it was done. It looked like they were just working on the front, but they also have condos in there too. So they have the Hyatt Regency, and then they have condos that you could purchase there, and then they have the mall. It's all in one building. Let's see. Walker. Oh my God, this is like Godfather 2. Directions cut. Whatever. The Vatican Marriott charges $95 per person for breakfast. It's good, but not that good. So Easy saying that. And what's that? Yucatan. Marriott charges $95 per person for breakfast. It's good, but not that good. Yeah. I don't. Yeah, some of these places they get crazy with the whole breakfast thing, like the charging. And what I would want out of a hotel branded card, what I would want is free breakfast. You get a hotel branded card and you get free breakfast. That's what I would want. Like all these other little perks that they're giving you. I like the free night, so give me the free night. But let me. Even if it gets to this far, if I have to charge it on my card, let me charge it on my card and just credit my account so I don't have to pay for breakfast and I get free breakfast. That's all I would want, and I would keep that card forever. Yeah, yeah, because some of these places, yeah, what are they, $95? It's just ridiculous. Okay, don't even bring your Amex cards to use in France. That's Walker saying that. Pretty good Mexico and Western Europe. Okay, that's Easy saying that. Nika baby, I have the Chase Trifecta, Freedom Unlimited, Amex Everyday Preferred, Amex SPG, Amex Gold, Chase Hyatt, Future Cards, Amex Platinum, Amex Hilton. Then I think I'm done for a while. You should be done. There's a lot of cards. Hey, you don't have the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Or you said the Trifecta. Oh, wait, let's see. Chase Trifecta, Chase Sapphire Preferred. Okay, so you have the Preferred. Yeah, you have a lot of cards. Amex Platinum, that's a good card. You're going to be happy with that one. But you don't have any lounge access, it looks like, yet. Yeah, you're going to want to get that lounge access if you travel a lot. At least Priority Pass, even though it's okay, you still can make out because you get the water, the snacks, the alcohol. That's good. And then move on. But yeah, once you get that Amex Platinum, then you'll get Centurion Lounge, plus you'll have Priority Pass, and then what is it, the Delta, whatever lounges they have. So yeah, you'll make out really well with that. Let's see, easy. It's just not the right. Wait, just not that great in more rural areas in France and Italy. Okay, so it looks like it's Amex. You can still use it pretty much all around. And like I said, there are a lot of times where I'm using cash anyway, especially when I'm buying souvenirs and stuff like that, and eating the local foods at the street vendor food and all that kind of stuff, which I do from time to time. Not all the time, but I will eat that sometimes. Or you go to smaller restaurants too. Smaller restaurants, I'll usually just use cash. Uh, yeah, and then bus fare, taxis, all this. So when you start thinking about it, it's like, yeah, you know what? I do use cash a little more than I thought I did. So, yeah, there are a lot of different places where I use cash. Let's see, Walker, get the Charles Schwab account for no fees for withdrawing money. Yeah, that's good advice, Walker. So getting that Charles Schwab card, then you don't have to pay the fees when you take out money. So that's good. But I will usually bring cash with me. I don't bring that much, but I'll bring some cash with me, and then whenever I can, I use my credit card. That's kind of the way that I do it. And then if I'm out there and I do need to get more cash, and I'll do it one time. But I'm usually pretty good. Like I don't, especially in certain places you go, you don't really spend that much cash when you really think about it. Like, or when I say spend that much, your money goes a long way in a lot of places. When I go to Colombia, my money goes so far. So it's like I can have $300 and I'm good for almost the whole trip, depending on my activities, because I'm using my credit card a lot. So whenever I can, I'll use it, and then I'm just paying cash every here and there. So yeah, I usually make out pretty good. Let's see, overseas, that guy, Brazil, Argentina, DR, Germany, all were 95% Amex accepted for me. That's good. So yeah, so it looks like they're accepted, but that's all. Like I said, when the argument comes up, which cards are better, Amex, Chase, that's the first thing that people say. Oh well, Amex isn't accepted everywhere. So, do you think any changes are coming with the Sapphire Reserve? If so, what do you think they should add? I hope, and this is Nick asking this question as far as do you think Chase, the Chase Sapphire Reserve will make any changes? I hope they do. And I've always wanted this one thing. So Chase has they'll do these over the summer. They'll do these private events and things like that, which are fine. And some of them you have to pay for anyway. So you just use your card. It's exclusive, but you still have to pay for it. So I want them to get a lounge, airport lounge, like the Centurion lounges. Put them at some of the major airports, just like Centurion did. They started a couple just to kind of see if people were interested in it, and then they started growing and getting more. I'd love if Chase had a lounge, like they opened up a lounge. Stop doing these private events and stuff like that, or even doing these special lounges. I think they had a special lounge in New York. I don't know how long it was, but it wasn't in an airport. It was like a outside somewhere, in the city somewhere, I should say. But get a lounge, have that lounge access at airports. I think that would be really, really good. And there are a lot of people that have Chase Sapphire Reserve right now. So start it out with allowing everyone in, and then see how it works. And just to get people to spend more money, to use the card, if it's an issue, the credit card companies are saying it's an issue that people aren't spending enough money on the cards and all that, well then get these lounges and then have an incentive where you need to spend a certain amount of money every year on this card in order to qualify for the next year, for lounge access for the next year, or something like that. I don't know, but a lounge would be nice. It would be really nice. I would really like that. I'm going to keep the card anyway. I mean, it's the best card that I have. Until something better comes along, I'm going to keep the card. But it would be nice if they did do something like that. I think that would get a lot of people interested in the card. Because let's face it, the Amex Platinum, the biggest perk on that card that I can see, there's two perks. 1 to 5 times on booking your airfare. But the real big perk, or the real thing that I like, exclusive thing, is the Centurion Lounge. And so a lot of people get that card, and the main reason that they're getting it is because it has something exclusive. It has that Centurion Lounge, and it has a priority pass, and it has the Delta Lounge. So yeah, I would hope that Sapphire does that. Sapphire Reserve does that, or they could do some type of partnership with United's, not their club lounge, not their regular club lounge, because I hear those lounges aren't very nice. And I have 2 passes right now just because I got the United card. But I heard those lounges aren't really very good. But they have the business class, first class lounge. Allow people who have Chase Sapphire Reserve to get in those lounges. I don't know, just something else. That's what I would want. Okay, Mark, I leave my basic Blue Cash card home when I travel overseas. I do see places that take American Express overseas, like O'Neill's in Ireland. Okay, yeah. So it looks like they're taking American Express pretty much everywhere. Not everywhere, but in a lot of places. Let's see. Javier, yes, free breakfast, elite status, free night award, and good earn possibility will be a great hotel co-branded card. Yeah. Now the elite status, not the highest elite status, because the whole thing is, and this does kind of hurt when it comes to when you're trying to get elite status, and you're trying to do it the hard way of staying at the hotel, right? Staying at all the different hotel, if you travel a lot and you specifically book your travel around certain hotels because you want to stay at a Hilton, or you want to stay at a Hyatt, or you want to stay at a Marriott. So they want to be able to keep that clientele, and that's why usually they won't give you the top tier elite status. But giving someone something, yeah, that would be good. And that free breakfast, I'm telling you, that would keep a lot of people with the card, because if you think about this and allow it for you and for 3-4 family members, whatever you want to do it like that. But you're going to have a lot of families that are going to think like that. Okay, if I'm traveling to wherever, I'm going to stay at this hotel because I get free breakfast for me and my family. And we just showed on here, and we talked about how much it is for breakfast. And if you can get away with getting a free breakfast for the family, and you don't have to pay $27 or $95 or $80 for 3 people, I mean, that it makes a lot of sense for people, and they would go. It makes more sense than getting a free night every year if you think about it. Because if I get a free night every year, and I have a family and we're going to travel, well, I might say, okay, you know what, I'll stay at the Hyatt for 2 days, and then I'll move to a cheaper hotel or move to another hotel, because Hyatt might be too expensive, but the free night, I'll use the free night and then stay one additional night, pay that night, and then go somewhere else. Or I'll stay one night and use the free night and then go somewhere else. But if you're giving me free breakfast, I'm probably going to stay there, use my free night. And if the free breakfast is enough of a value where it offsets the price that I'm paying for that night, well, then I probably will stay there a few extra nights. So I don't know. Free breakfast is a big thing. Let's see. What else are we talking about? Do you think any changes are coming? We heard that one. Yes. I don't have the reserve. Okay, Nika baby. I don't have the reserve. I thought about upgrading the Chase Sapphire Preferred, but when I get the Platinum later this year, I don't think I need it. Yeah, and I agree. You don't need it. If you get the Platinum, then you won't need the Chase Sapphire Reserve. But yeah, it's a good card. Like I like the card, but it's not something that you have to have. Let's see. Hilton Gold card offers free breakfast at most Hilton brands by getting Hilton Ascend, $95. Okay, and that's what I thought. The Hilton Gold, you get free breakfast, so that's good. That's Javier saying that. So if you have gold status, then you get, or you're saying if you have gold status, you get the free breakfast. I think you're saying that. So if you have the Amex Platinum, then you can get free breakfast because you'll have gold status with Hilton. So that's good. Choice Privileges card comes with free breakfast. Come on, though, it's Choice. Okay, I shouldn't badmouth Choice. But what's their footprint? I don't know much about Choice. All I know is those commercials that they put out, which are pretty funny. But I don't know much about Choice, the Choice brand. Choice hotels got made fun of too much, especially compared to Motel 6 and Super 8s. Yeah, see, that's the only issue. Yeah, they get free breakfast, but what's the footprint? What do the hotels look like in other countries? Okay, that guy. Yeah, nigga baby, you'll probably benefit more from the platinum. Okay. Why not get the Chase Sapphire Reserve and the platinum? Nika Platinum for the hotel benefits and Chase Sapphire Reserve for the $300 travel credit. Okay, so that's Javier saying, why not? He's talking to Nika. Why not get the Chase Sapphire? I think he's talking to Nika. Why not get the Chase Sapphire Reserve and the platinum? Platinum for the hotel benefits and the Chase Sapphire Reserve for the $300 travel credit. I wouldn't get a card for the $300 travel credit because you're paying the $450. So you're actually paying for the travel credit. So I wouldn't use that as my reason to get the card. I would want other benefits because, like I said, you pay $450 annual fee. Yeah, you get the $300 travel credit, but you're still paying for it. So it's that alone is not a reason to get the card, in my opinion. Okay, Walker, you need to get the Pathway Rewards card, David, today. I don't know what that card is. Yeah, I don't know what that card is. The Amex Platinum is more of a travel perk card and not really an expense card for me. Only reason to take out the wallet is to get lounge, to pay the hotel, the flight attendant, or the flight or international rental. Yeah, I would agree. It is more of a perk card. And like Staples too, the Staples Center in Los Angeles, you can buy a ticket to watch the Clippers or to watch the LA Lakers, and then they have a lounge there where you just need to show your card and you can go up to the lounge. You still have to pay for the food and stuff. I would hope that it's a little less, but it's a nice lounge where you can watch the whole game. So you can pay for the cheapest ticket, have the nosebleed seats, but then come down and then sit in the lounge for the whole game. So that's pretty nice. So they offer some pretty good benefits. And that's what I'm saying. Chase Sapphire Reserve, do some extra stuff like that. And I know they do have the lounge, like they do have the lounge and the VIP, like the city lounges, I guess you can call them, and then the VIP events and stuff like that. But an airport lounge would be perfect. Let's see. I'm not thrilled about $1,000 up front and annual fee. Here, okay. Yeah, that's crazy too. You got to think about the annual fee, and do you want to get the cards all at the same time? So, Nika Baby's just saying she's not thrilled about paying $1,000 to pay for annual fees for a card. And do you want to get them at the same time? If you think about it, like, do you want to spread it out? I mean, I don't know what your money situation is like, but like, I wouldn't want to get two top tier cards, $550 annual fee for this card, $450 annual fee for this card at the same time or near the same time, because every year I'm going to have to make that payment at the same time. So I would want to kind of spread it out. Maybe one the first 6 months of the year around maybe like I pay my Chase Sapphire Reserve in August. So I mean, if I got a card right now, that would be the better time to get it because it kind of spreads it out a little bit. Okay, that guy exactly how I planned. Let's see. Easy Polaris Lounge question mark. Wait, did I skip something? Um, yeah, I don't know what you're asking. Easy. Let's see. Nika Baby, the guy. That guy is exactly how I plan to use my platinum. I have to wait to apply when I can make the $5,000 3 months minimum spend. Okay, so that's cool. Let's see, Javier. Offer status like Amex Platinum, maybe offer Hyatt Explorer status. She's going to offer hotel status like Amex Platinum. Oh, okay. Yeah, that may. You know what? That's a good one, Javier. As far as, so he's saying with the Chase Sapphire Reserve, one of the things that they can do is maybe offer Explorer status with Hyatt, the Amex Platinum offers the gold status with Hilton and the gold status with Marriott. Yeah, that would be good. I have the Explorer status right now with Hyatt, and it's pretty good. Like I've had the Globalist status. I now have the Explorer status, and I don't really see much of a difference. I really don't. And then with the Explorer status, you still get like four. You get four passes, like club passes, and basically a club pass, a club pass. They have like these exclusive lounge at the hotel, so you can have access to it, and you can get alcohol, you can drink, you can get beverages, and they usually have like finger foods. They don't usually have like a full-on meal, but they'll have like snacks and stuff like that, and it's usually like at the top of the hotel with a nice view and all that stuff usually. So you can either you can either get that, or if they don't offer that at the hotel, if they don't have that at the hotel, then they'll give you a free meal, so free breakfast usually. So you're able to go to get free breakfast. But that's the only time, and these are at the higher end hotels. So that's the only time that they will offer you like a free breakfast if they don't have club access. If you're staying at like a Hyatt Regency, a Park Hyatt, the higher end, the Andaz and the higher end Hyatt properties. Now, if it's like a Hyatt place, then you're going to get breakfast. So, let's see. But yeah, I'm that sounds good. Like it doesn't seem like it would be hard. What Javier is saying, just give them Explorer status and see how that works. But I think Chase needs to do something because you have the other card companies doing stuff, and Chase isn't doing anything. So if they want to stay on top, at some point they're going to need to kind of. I mean, they're still the best. I think the Chase Sapphire Reserve is still the best card, but if American Express keeps chipping away and they can really get people going with the Amex Platinum, Amex Gold combo, then there's going to come a time where people are just going to be like, you know what, Chase is not going to do anything with this card, so we're going to move on. All right. Nika Baby, just plastic. Okay. Oop. Skipped ahead. I am on the Uber. My expense rated credited already. Oh, that's another thing too. The Uber credit too that you get with the Amex Platinum. I forgot about that. Let's see. Easy. You were referring to United Premium Lounge, I think, which is called the Polaris. Okay, the Polaris Lounge. Yeah, that's what would be nice if they gave like their premium lounge, like their business class, first class lounge. And I flew. I finally, flown on the Polaris business class, and it was okay. I didn't like the food though. Yeah, the food wasn't very good. That was the only gripe that I had. The ice cream was good though, because they bring out a little cart and they actually serve ice cream right in front of you. So they'll give you a scoop of ice cream and chocolate, caramel, whatever you want on top of it. That was good. But the food, yeah, the food. I'm gonna do a video because I just pulled up, and I have so much video footage that I've shot in the last couple of years, and I need to organize everything. And so I'm starting to organize things, and it's bad because what happens is I get like new things come out, and I want to do a video on this, or I want to do a video on that, and so I put these other videos on the back burner, and then over time I forget. Oh yeah, you know what? I shot all this video of me sitting in business class on the Polaris, and I wanted to do that video, but I never did it. So I still will be doing that video. I just need to. I need to get all the footage and stuff together. But I have footage of the food, and yeah, it wasn't very good. I had some type of it was like chicken with noodles, and let's put it this way: you guys see you see you see my size, right? I didn't eat all that food. Like I ate half of it, and I was done. It was that bad. And I mean the first course they brought out was okay. It was like I want to say it was duck. I think it was duck and a salad, and it was nice. It looked nice, a nice presentation and everything. But it was like cold. It wasn't. It was like the appetizer. So it was like the duck was like cold, and it was like sliced. I don't fancy food. But anyway, the second course that they brought out, the course that I ordered, it wasn't very good. Yeah, and the flight attendant came around, and it just seemed so. It just seemed so rushed, and just kind of. I mean, you get in, you walk. I walk into the airplane. And they tell me where I'm going to go sit. So I go, I put my stuff down, and I'm getting my stuff together. You know how it is when you get on a plane, you put your bags up, and especially when you're in like a business class or a first class, because there's so much stuff around you, and you're trying to figure out, okay, well, I can put this here, I can put that there, and I got my pillow here, and my blanket here, and so there's all this stuff that you're trying to do. And as soon as I walk on, and as soon as I put my bag up, and I'm looking around and trying to figure out what I'm doing, here comes a flight attendant with, and we hadn't even gotten the menu, or no, I think the menu was there, but it was on the table, so I hadn't even looked at it yet. I just walked. I hadn't even sat down yet, and she comes by and she's like asking me what I wanted, like so she could write it down. I'm thinking, you see, I just walked in here, right? Like. Could you give me some time to sit down and see what's on the menu? Because I have no idea. And so I told her, yeah, can you come back? And she was like, oh. I mean, she just said, yeah, and just walked on. But no, that doesn't make any sense. Like, you should be waiting for people to at least get comfortable. I understand you want to get all that stuff together so you can make whatever needs to be made, but we need to get on the plane and get seated so we can figure out what we want. So, yeah. That yeah, I don't know. That kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Anyway, let's see. No BZ. I don't do anything magical, but I wish I was on that way too. Rita Rucris. Okay, so Nika Baby saying, let's see, the card I never eat at Ruth Chris, but I get gift card every month, and I'll have a nice meal at the end of the year. So Nika, so what you're doing is you're getting a gift card. So do you go in there to get the gift card? How do you get the gift card? So you're getting like a $10 gift card. What's that? Because I think it's like $10, right? $10 every month, and then $15 on. Or is it $15 in December or something like that? Wow. So when you go to eat, and you're gonna spend all that money too at Ruth Chris, because I've been there before, and you're not getting out of there for $100. It's pretty expensive. Let's see. United Polaris lounges are okay, nothing special. But even still, that's Nika saying that. Even still, give us that. Like, with Chase Sapphire Reserve, give us a lounge, like something different. The priority pass lounges aren't getting it for me. I'll just tell you that right off. And I've stayed at, like, I had the luxury, I was lucky enough when I flew business class or no, when I flew first class on British Airways, we flew to London first, and I had a layover. It was like a 3-hour layover, and so I went into the British Airways first class lounge, and that was insane. That lounge was like, I'd never seen anything like that before in my life. Like, you walk in, and first they're speaking, they had a British accent. And so that just sounds rich anyway. Just to me, I know it sounds like rich, like a butler or something. I don't know, but anyway, so you walk in there, and off to the left, they had like a computer room, and then they had the showers, and then they had like a sitting area, like a lounge, a big lounge, and then they had all the alcohol, like more like the hard liquor, and then the beers, and they had a lot. I mean, this room was, it was, God, I don't know how to even say how big it was. It was a big. It would be, that little room would be a normal size lounge, like the full lounge, like a Priority Pass lounge. And so they had that section, and then in the middle, they had everything up against the wall. So they had the computers up against one wall, and then the other wall they had all the hard liquor and the beers, and then they had the sitting area over here, and then this wall here they had all the computers and stuff like that, and then in the back then they had where you can go take showers and stuff like that, and then that was one room. And then there was another room right next to that. So when you walk in, right in front of you, there's a room, and it was like a wine room, like all the different wines that they had. And they had another lounge in there where you can sit down, and they just had all these different wines. And I'm not really big on wine, so I don't even know what I'm looking at, but it looked expensive. So it was just all this different wine bottles. And then behind, so if I turn to the right, then you had like this other area where they had like all the coffee that you would want, that you could make, and then cookies and all that kind of stuff, like pastries and stuff. And then they had a room right next to that where it was like sports, like where you could go in and watch like the different sporting events and stuff, chairs and stuff in there. And then you walk forward, and they had a little play area, a room for little kids. And then you walk further, and then they had the buffet. So they had a full-on buffet with desserts and all this stuff in there. The food looked pretty good. I got a little bit of the food. And then off past there, then they had a restaurant. And you walk in the restaurant, and you can order whatever you wanted to eat. So that place was it was insane how nice that place was. And that was like the British Airways first class lounge. So after going there, then you start thinking, I'm going to Priority Pass lounges. Now, I'm not gonna say no, because it's somewhere other than the terminal, which is the regular terminal, which is good, but still, yeah. So I would want anything. Give me any business class or first class lounge with Chase, and that would be good. Let's see, Nika baby. Hold on a second. Where we missed something here? For the gold card, I usually stop at Shake Shacks during my bike rides, and they more than pay for. I'll be back in credits. Okay. Shake Shack on a bike ride? Come on, man. You ride, and then you put those calories back on. Let's see. I live in the Bay Area, California. This is Nika baby. I think there's a new Shake Shack, but it's far from me. I've never eaten at a Shake Shack. I don't even know what that food would taste like. Is it like, what's that other place? Five Guys? Which I'm not really impressed with Five Guys. I don't know. Like, I think because out here, everything is In and Out. Like, everybody likes In and Out burgers. So I went to Five Guys, and I wasn't very impressed. Let's see. That guy. Grubhub also triggers credits, but it's more expensive, and you gotta weigh the value. Oh, scrolling. Never been to Vegas. Wow, that guy. You need to get to Vegas, man. Never been to Vegas. Yeah, you need to go down there. I actually went to school in Las Vegas. Went to UNLV. And that was an experience. It was a good experience, but yeah, living in Vegas you see a lot of stuff that you don't see when you just go to Vegas on a trip. Just drive. All you need to do is drive off the strip or walk. That's even better. Walk off the strip, down a block or two, and you'll be like, what the heck? Where am I? Yeah, it gets pretty rough out there. Let's see. It's Grubhub delivery. I hate delivery food. Yeah, Nika, it is a delivery service. They're a delivery service, though, not. So is Grubhub and Shake Shack, wait, Grubhub and Seamless, right? Grubhub and Seamless are the same. They're just the service. So they just deliver the food. They don't make the food. So basically, let's say there's a local restaurant that you like. You can look to see if it's on Grubhub, and then you can order the food through Grubhub. They'll go pick it up for you, bring it to you, and you pay a small fee for them delivering the food to you. Easy, Southwest Group, A boarding would be great yeah. But the only thing is, yeah, that could be a good perk. Yeah, I would agree. But you can't transfer. I don't think you can transfer points though to Southwest. I don't think you can transfer points. Are they a partner? I don't think they're a partner with Chase. So you would want it to be a partner. I'm not actually. I can't remember. I'm not sure. But I don't like flying Southwest anyway. But if I'm not mistaken, I don't think they're a partner. I know JetBlue is now with Chase, but the points, the value is not good when you transfer. Let's see. You can pick up food too at Grubhub, Seamless to cut fees. Okay, so that's cool. So, but how does that work? How are you picking up food? So you order through Grubhub, but you order pickup, so you're just going to the restaurant. Well, I don't understand how how does that work? Because why not just go to the restaurant and not deal with Grubhub or Seamless at all? Let's see. Naked baby, yes, I go to Ruth Chris to get a $10 gift card. And they look at me funny every time. Yeah, they're looking at you funny because it's like $100 per meal. They're probably like, what is this person doing? Do they know $10 will get them? I wonder what $10 would get you. Probably a roll. Wow. Hey, but you got to do, hey, and that's the whole thing. And it's good that you brought that up, Nika, because if you get a card, you want to use whatever is available, like the points that or not the points, but the benefits that they're giving you. You want to use those benefits because that's how you're breaking down that $250 annual fee. So if the Amex Gold saying it's $250 annual fee, the way you break that down so you don't have to pay anything for the card, you need to use those points or those benefits. So if they're telling you, okay, we'll give you $10 every month, get the gift cards, because you get the gift cards and now you're bringing that down, because eventually, yeah, you can use it. And their whole idea, and they might even, they might put a stop to what she's doing, but their whole thing is, yeah, we'll get you into Ruth Chris $10. Ruth Chris knows that we don't have anything they can't get out of here for less than $100. So they know they're going to make money in the long run, and basically they're just giving you like a 10% off if you go to the restaurant. That's the way they're thinking about it. But if you do go in there and you're getting gift cards, then you just go in there once and use all the gift cards, then it works out. But ultimately you're using those, you're getting the benefits out of the card, and that's what you want to do. So that's a good thing to do. Let's see. Okay. All right, so I'm going to have to speed through some of these because we're going to have to get going. Grubhub deliveries. You pick up food and go to Grubhub Seamless. Fries, yes, with Chris. I cook more. I eat out more than I eat out. Cut off United Club Lounge access for Chase Sapphire Reserve. Chase really needs to leverage other transfer partners to improve the Chase Sapphire offer status from Hyatt and United Club access. Yeah, those are all good suggestions, Javier. And I agree. They need to leverage something. They need to. I'm hoping they do something with the card, something positive, and not keep taking from the card. Let's see, easy. It's like a high end in and out. What's a high end in and out? Come on, in and out is high end. We have a place, something called Habit out here. The Habit. That's pretty. That's a little more high end, but it reminds me a lot of In and Out, and their food's pretty good too. Let's see, that guy. Yeah, I do 60 to 80 mile. Okay, well that's damn, 60 to 80 mile ride. That's a lot. So I just started riding a bike, just so you know, like 3 months ago. Yeah, 3 months ago, and I have another channel actually that I'm documenting my cycling. And the most I've ever done was 50 miles. I only did that once, and I was done. The next day, I was out of it. Like I relaxed the next day because it was that bad. But I enjoy it though, and I usually don't ride that far. I usually ride about 20 miles on average, 15 to 20 miles. But yeah, it's good exercise definitely. But 60 to 80 miles, yeah, you can eat whatever you want, man. Damn. Let's see. That guy, yeah, I'm interested in going to Vegas. A friend was going to have a bachelor party. Uh-oh. There, but didn't pan out. That's probably a good thing. Yeah, you're going to want to go to Vegas. It's good to experience it at least once. And yeah, it's a different world out there. It's fun, though. It's a good time. Let's see. Easy. Southwest is a UR partner. Okay. But I didn't. Yeah, I guess so. Okay. So you can transfer your points here. So that's good. I just don't. I don't do anything with Southwest. But I guess if you had the A status and you get on the plane faster, or like one of the first people on the plane, so that would make it a lot different. But I always want to make a commitment to an airline that has a little more a broader reach. So if I want to go overseas, I want to be able to have transfer partners that will a airline that has transfer partners that will allow me to be able to get there. So that's my main reason for not going with Southwest. That and then the whole seating arrangement I don't like. Let's see, soda drink with the refill, $10. Yeah, that's at Ruth Chris. Probably. Just one refill. Okay, let's see. Javier, planning a trip to Vegas for my birthday in March. Does the Chase Luxury Hotel and Resorts Collection offer a great value, in your opinion, David? Thinking of staying at Aria or MGM Signature. I've never used that. Yeah, I've never used it. You check it out, like see what the value is as far as see how much the hotel is compared to if you were just to book it, just do a regular booking. Just like what I mean, just go to MGM Signatures and do the booking and see how much it's going to be compared to the luxury hotel resorts. And then you get other benefits with that, I think, as well, if you book it through Chase. And I think free breakfast is one of them. The Another thing that consider too, I mean, if you want to, if you're set on staying at these two places, then you've already made up your mind. But Hyatt has a partnership with MGM Barrage. So all the MGM property, like so MGM, or so Mandalay Bay, Luxor, Excalibur, MGM, Mirage, Treasure Island. I know I'm probably forgetting one or two, but all those properties are, there's a partnership with Hyatt. So if you get on Hyatt's website, you can book those hotels. And the reason why I'm saying that is because if you have Chase, if you're in the Chase ecosystem, you have points with Chase, then you can do some transfers. I believe that not all of them will take points, but some of them will take points. So you can transfer points over from Chase Sapphire, from the Chase Ultimate Rewards program. You can transfer points over to Hyatt and then use those points to book a stay in Vegas at one of those hotels. So just something to consider. And I would sign up anyway. I would sign up for. I I would look at the. Obviously, I would look at the how much the room rates are, but I would sign up at Hyatt or sign up for the Hyatt membership, the World of Hyatt membership, and then book it through Hyatt anyway, because then you can get points, is what I'm saying. So it works that way. Good. It works good that way. All right, that guy. Here's another benefit. The most Amex Platinum users don't know are free stuff from restaurants from a certain list. A free bottle of wine, appetizer, dessert, etc. Okay, did you? Okay. All right. So there's a link to that. Thank you, that guy. Easy New York, $10 for a beer is cheap. So that guy's saying that $10 for a beer is cheap. You know what's funny? When I was just in Vegas last month, and I had a situation, or not a situation, but we went downtown, and we went to it was a restaurant that they just turned into a nightclub, and so we went to the nightclub and hung out for a little bit, and I bought a beer, and it was $9, $9 for a beer, and it wasn't even a club. It was like it was a restaurant. They just converted it into a club, really small, just small room. It was, man, that's crazy. All right, Nico baby, habit is nasty. It's not. Habit is not nasty. That food's pretty good. I don't know. I like it. Let's see. Easy microbrew or domestic mass produced. Okay, let's see that guy. What's the channel? The channel, let's see the channel we'd love to follow and ride the 60-year-old retirees. They blow past me. Yeah, you know what? There's some good. When I first started with cycling and all that stuff, yeah, it's tough. It's tough to see old people riding by you. I shouldn't say old people, but people older than you riding by you. But yeah, it gets pretty tough. The channel is Fat to Fit Cycling. It's let's see if I can if I can put the link on here. But yeah, I just started it like 3 months ago, and so it's fun. I mean, it just kind of motivates me. And even like today, it rained a little bit today, but I still could have gone out and ride and rode, but I didn't. But I'm thinking in my head, oh, I gotta ride because I'm gonna have to post a video and everybody's gonna know I didn't ride. So yeah, but yeah, Fat to Fit Cycling is the name of it. Let me pull it up. Yeah, so it's good for keeping you motivated. That's for sure. And it does get a little hard. Like, I mean, I enjoy riding a bike, but it's sometimes you have to make time to do it. You know, it's let's see, yeah, you have to make time to do it. And if you ride for long distances, it could take a nice 3-hour chunk out of your day. Just to ride. So yeah, so you do have to make time. And so that's what I'm struggling with right now. Like, I have stuff going on. I'm thinking, oh, well, I can ride, but I can't ride that long because I need to get back and all that stuff. Okay, so that's a link to the channel. And please subscribe. I definitely want I want to get the channel up there. And just because I want to start doing more live streams and stuff like that. And I want to just kind of put that kind of like what we're doing here, just kind of talk about stuff when it comes to cycling and just getting fit and all that stuff. Because I definitely need that. I need all the help I can get in that category. So I need all the advice. Okay, so here we go. What's the channel? Domestic stuff, PBR. Be a little under $10 there. Let's see, yeah, it's baseball game. Okay, that guy, yeah, the oldies I grew up with. Yeah, and that guy's just talking about the older people that he rides with. They get up early in the morning and they're done by 10 or 11. That's my struggle. Like, I work Friday night, and then Saturday morning, I would like to get out and ride, but I don't always make it because like I work late, and so it's and so then I get up and I'll ride in the afternoon, but then it's afternoon, there are a lot of people out, and that's one of the things that I'm learning now. Like when you ride and there's a lot of people, it's just it's a headache, because depending on where you're riding, people don't pay attention. And like I like to ride out at the beach because I don't live too far from the beach, so I like to ride out there. But people don't pay attention; they don't care. Like they just walk out in front of you. They'll walk down the bike lane and just not pay attention to you. So you're constantly, excuse me, and trying to ride around them and all that good stuff, because people just get out there and they're in their own world, especially when you're at the beach, because it's in between the parking lot and the actual sand. So people are walking, and they're always walking across because they're going over to the beach, which I get. And another thing, when they're coming back from the beach, they do the same thing every time. You're riding, and I watch them now, so I know. But they're walking, they're looking down, because once they get to the concrete, the first thing they want to do is put their shoes on. And so they're looking down, they put their shoes on, and then just start walking. And they don't look left or right. And so every time without fail, they do that. It's just, it's crazy. All right, I don't want to talk anymore about cycling. But yeah, go to the channel, and I usually put out at least one video a week, just kind of an update on my cycling. And then I was doing live streams, but I kind of had to stop that just because I was doing a live stream on Sunday, and then I was doing a live stream on Monday, and it was getting to be too much. So I'll probably pick up live streams on that later down the road. All right, yeah, the oldies group. Okay, let's see. I'm also a wedding video business after weekends. I don't get up until Tuesday afternoon. Okay, what type of work do you do in the wedding industry? Wedding and video business? Because I'm a photographer. I do wedding photography. I do it part-time though. I have a full-time job, but I just do it to make a little extra income so I can travel more. So yeah. All right, so I've gotten down to the end of the questions. Okay, so photography and cinematography, cool. Yeah, I used to do videography stuff, but that's a lot of work, man. Yeah, okay, it's my full time. Okay, that's a lot of work, especially the cinematography aspects. Do you go to WPPI or anything like that? Like the conventions? So I know there are WPPIs in 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. I'm not going this year. I usually go every year, but I planned a trip to go to Colombia, so I couldn't take all that time off. Video is too much gear. Yeah, it is too much gear and too expensive. Ugh, it's ridiculous. All right, guys. Thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it, and I think we talked about a lot of different stuff today. I hope you guys learned something new, if not from me, from people in the chat. And we will come back on next Sunday for sure at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then I'll probably come on Saturday. I'll probably come on another Saturday, next Saturday as well. But yeah, I appreciate everybody coming in. Let's see, that guy's got a couple other things. I'll be in Costa Rica for 2 weddings, but the resort seems to have a virus outbreak. Oh God, that's not good. Yeah, that's not good at all. That's good. So you're doing some travel too with your wedding photography and videography. Sub, thanks for streaming. Okay, yeah, thanks for the sub. I appreciate that. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. And please like the video just so it can push it up in the algorithms so more people can see it. And like I said, I'm really pushing. We had like 25. I don't know exactly what the count was, but at one point it was at least 25 people in, which is good. But I'd love to get like double that. So we're like have 50 people. That way we can all participate and really help each other out when it comes to travel stuff. We're not just going to talk about travel credit cards. I do like to at least talk about one when we start, just to kind of go over one, and then talk a little bit more about travel too, because I want to talk about actually destinations and stuff. Because I also want to make it about Yeah, you have the points. You're going to a location. Let's say like Cartagena. You're going to Cartagena. Well, what do you do in Cartagena? What are some of the good things to do there? How can you save money on certain things like travel or taxis, Uber? Is Uber legal? Is Uber legal in Cartagena? It's not legal. You can use it, but it's not legal. So just different things like that. So I want to make it more about, or I want to make it about a lot of different stuff when it comes to travel, not just the travel credit cards. Because I'm going to tell you that's one whole aspect, but I want to talk about the travel too, because some people get too tied up in these points. And I have friends that have points. I have a friend right now has points, doesn't know what to do with them. He's got a bunch of points in his account. He doesn't know how to use them, and so he's not using them to travel at all. He just has them there, and so we want to talk about the points. We want to talk about how to use the points, but then I also want to talk about the different destinations, different places that you might not have even thought of traveling to. Maybe turn you on to some of those places, and maybe you'll be like, oh yeah, you know what? Let me try that place, and then you go there, and then you can share it with everyone else when you come back. So, all right, let me read these last few questions, and then we'll get out of here. Sub, thanks you. Okay. I want someone to teach me. Teach you what, Nika? Let's see, the travel tips, like no keeping your wallet is great anywhere sketchy, simply impaired or especially impaired. Looking forward to the next travel tips. All right, great guys. Thank you, I appreciate it, and I'm gonna get out of here. Okay, so we'll be back on next Sunday. Talk to you later. Bye.